This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
I miss the old song. I like that one. It's alright. But I really miss the old song. Good evening. Welcome to the Troll Patrol live. It's a freaking Sunday. Dustin. DJ Dub. Good evening, my friends. Welcome. Welcome. We've got yet another wild, hilarious, violent edition of the Troll Patrol Live, because it's just another day. It's just another day in mass shooting USA. It's just another day in absurd politics world USA. It's just another day in wild entertainment culture war nonsense. Shelly, good evening. All that and more tonight on the Troll Patrol Live. Good evening. Fuzzy Simba, good evening. Welcome in. So glad to see everyone tonight here on this Sunday evening. It's not officially fall. It's not the equinox or whatever the fuck it is. But the kids are back in school. We'd be seeing TV be coming on the like new shows premiere on the fall schedule. Alas, we have a writer's strike going on. We stand strong with the writers and the actors. Stick it to the motherfuckers who have ruined streaming for everybody. Streaming used to be so cool, but now it's just a cash grab. It's no different than cable. Honestly, I kind of think it's worse. Streaming is a little watered down. If there are idiots watching right now that would like to call in and talk to me, would like to have an argue, number is 917-830-4359. Or you can hop in the Discord. And the link to that is down in the description on whatever platform that you might be on. I try to make it as easy as possible. If you do hop in the Discord, though, you have to alert me through the chat so that I can go and hop in the Discord server. I always say that. I always say hop in the Discord. Is that proper nomenclature to say hop in the Discord? Like a little bunny rabbit. Run, rabbit, run. Run, rabbit, run. No, I've had a few idiot right-wingers on my ass. One dude was harassing a friend of mine. And if you are watching, yes, she is my friend. I had her banned on my show back in like 2010, 2011, back in the day on a traditional radio station. So yes, she is indeed my friend. Stupid fuck. I'm sorry, you guys have no clue what I'm talking about. The saga of Chris Scalise continues. First of all, here's your meme of the day. Chris is a right-winger that got triggered. I'm not exactly sure where he saw me. Just one night. Why this is etched to with as many fucking right-wingers as I piss off. BB girl. With as many encounters as I have with dumb fucks. Why this sticks out to me. But I'll never forget the night I just flip over to my Justin Freakin page on Facebook, and there's like a whole bunch of reacts from this Chris guy. So, like, I don't know why my first inkling was to go to his profile, and somehow I found his wife. And he made it difficult. Like, he's dumb, so it wasn't that difficult. But, like, he had his page kind of locked down, but it wasn't that hard for me to piece together who his wife was. So I messaged his wife, and I'm like, why is your weirdo husband stalking me? And I showed her the picture of, like, the gazillion reactions to my posts. And that he's been using that for the excuse to, like, I don't mind, right? So he's on my personal page, which I do a lot of trolling from a personal page. But he's on my artist page. He apparently watches my YouTube videos as well. Here, allow me to show you. Everybody said he can't quit me, so I put this one together this afternoon. He got that woke mind virus going on. He got that woke mind virus, and when I say woke mind virus, I mean he's got me on the brain. Got me on the brain. Red line. I mean, I'm the troll. Someone asked me, like, where I find these people. And I'm like, well, I do a show called The Troll Patrol. I'm kind of begging for it. I come on here and I beg right-wingers to interact with me. I would love it. Jerome, my friend, if you're watching, 917-830-4359. I would love to talk to you. I will give you five uninterrupted minutes to proselytize, to sell us on the Jeebus. Sell us on the Jeebus and convert us to Christianity. 5 uninterrupted minutes. I'll turn my microphone off. I'll let you talk. But then I get to rebuttal. I won't even need 5 minutes. This image, you show this to a normie, and normie isn't going to know what's going on. Like, a normie is going to recognize, oh, green M&M, Barbie. But, like, beyond that, like, this meme is a lot of layers, right? So you've got to get the reference of the little white girl surrounded by the big black man getting ready to get gangbanged. Ben Shapiro, only the girl in the meme, she's very happy for what's getting ready to happen. Ben Shapiro, not happy getting gangbanged by all the culture war nonsense that, I mean, he picked a lot of these fights. But Jerome wants to talk about vaccines and gender, apparently. There's only 2 genders, one of those motherfuckers. Said he would kiss my bare ass if Matt Walsh had mentioned me twice. And I showed him the video. I'm like, are you gonna kiss my bare ass? It's awfully hairy. Of course, Jerome said, I said twice. If Matt Walsh mentioned you twice. And, yeah, I sent you my YouTube trailer, but, like, Matt Walsh says my name multiple times in the actual clip that's from. Exactly, goalposts. I tried to explain to this motherfucker what a loaded question fallacy was. Because one of the things they asked me out of nowhere, like we weren't even having an argument about sex or gender or anything, just pops up and is like, how did they ask the question? Hold on. If someone finds your bones in 50 years, are they gonna know what your sex was or something? You guys have heard that question or some version of it. I don't know how he asked it, but that was the question. Like, I ignored it the first couple of times. He's like, answer the question. I'm like, well, son, your question is a loaded question fallacy. What you've done is you've set these narrow parameters that you think you can win on. And I don't play that, homie. Don't play that, right? But to answer your question, since if you are genuinely interested, archaeologists actually get the gender of cis people wrong at a rate of like 5 to 7% of the time. So if you're trying to invalidate the existence of, because I've read up on this, they guess based upon, bone structure, like the pelvic size and shit, mainly the pelvic size. But if they've got some rather large bones, they might be like, oh, well, this is a male, but then find out, no, we were wrong, this is a female, we got this one wrong. Is it 10+%? Like it is a high rate of misgendering bones that they find. So like that isn't proof of anything. So I don't get. But when you've listened to right-wing propaganda for so long, and they've hammered it into your head, and they've said it confidently, then like you don't understand, like, and then we're also, I think I'm dealing with a dumb person, so I feel bad, but yet I don't, because I do like to bully people, and I tend to bully people that I see bullying others, like a Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro deserves to be bullied. And I don't understand. First of all, if you're gonna have an opinion like that and try to come at me and be like, oh, archaeologists identifying bones, don't you owe it to yourself to actually know what you're talking about? What? Like, did you just hear some YouTuber say that and you ran with it? You didn't actually look it up. That's odd to me. If you're gonna have an opinion on something, why wouldn't it be informed? If you care enough. Because they were coming at us about this topic. I mean, that's not Ben's actual body, but it's not far off. If they were to find Ben's skeletal remains, there's no doubt in my mind they would probably say that was a female, just because, he's a little person. He's very little. He's I'm not exaggerating. He's genuinely 5'4", 5'5". Very little person. I bet he's a frail little fragile flower. They absolutely would identify Ben Shapiro's skeletal remains as a female. And look, I broke my own Ben Shabargo. We were saying no more Ben Shapiro on the show. This meme broke my Ben Shabargo. His childbearing hips. Oh, goddamn. Shenanigans. We've got shenanigans going on here tonight. I'm not high enough for this shit. What are we going to talk about? It's just another day of mass shooting USA. But you guys already knew that because it's the day that ends in wine, USA. The man that murdered a dude who was just dancing at a gas station is apparently going to argue self-defense because, you know, maybe he was a dancing machine. How somebody dancing could be an affront to your safety, I'm not sure, but we'll hear him out, right? Because we're fair here on this show. The fires that have ravaged Hawaii, now the deadliest fires in U.S. history. The death toll is up to 93 as of a couple of hours ago, and that is expected to continue to rise, unfortunately. Speaking of rising, COVID numbers are rising. We have a new variant we're going to get educated on tonight. Also, we're going to talk about long COVID. I see a lot of news stories right now about kids having heart problems, and all the right-wingers blame the vaccine. But you know, if we really are seeing an increase in, because there's the possibility that there's not actually an increase in the number, that we're seeing it more on social media, that because of the conspiracy theories, right-wingers are amplifying the stories more. And that we're just, because I am seeing an uptick in stories. I don't know that the data matches that, but if we are seeing an uptick in heart problems, it could be that we just let a virus that causes heart problems rip through the country. And I wouldn't doubt that, once again, the data would bore out that Republican areas that were more vaccine hesitant probably have higher rates. But that's just me speculating. James Comer is finally going to admit there might be something sus going on with Ivanka and Jared and the whole Trump business dealings while he was in office. Speaking of which, we got an announcement today that Raskin is going to lead a set of Dems that are wanting to author a report on Trump's corruption. Meanwhile, Trump was in Iowa for campaign purposes. Asked by a reporter, or maybe just somebody in the crowd, I'm not exactly sure, if he intended to overturn the election, his answer is not going to surprise you. He also asked if he would take a plea deal if offered. That answer probably also is not going to surprise you. Also, to no one's surprise, Nevada Republicans are trying to rig the election for Donald Trump ahead of 2024. A pastor has spoken out saying that Christianity is in crisis mainly because of Donald Trump. Amon Bundy, the far-right lunatic, whose rap sheet's just too long to name off now, has been arrested. I think we're going to hear from him. I think we're actually going to get like comments from him as he was being taken in. Do you know who Tiffany Gomez is? Gomez. Tiffany Gomez. I'm not, okay. So this was during the time, I guess, that I wasn't doing Troll Patrol as frequently. He had a freak out on an airplane. I've not even seen the original video, but we got more video. We're going to watch all of it. Justin's going to get caught up on what happened. I've seen the memes. The memes don't make sense to me. She's apparently yelling that somebody's not real. We're going to get the lowdown, though. Oh. I got frogs. Got frogs for the end of the show. 10 driverless cars all stopped working at the same time and caused a traffic backup in San Francisco. Lionel Richie has pissed fans off with canceling a show like an hour after the show start time. This is a music themed show tonight. We're gonna do a lot of music. Have you heard about Oliver Anthony? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, and this is just an educated guess. I think there's something up with this red bearded feller. It's now like an anthem of right wingers, and we're gonna discuss it. I've not heard the song yet. We're gonna listen to it. I'm gonna forfeit my 14 cents to Oliver Anthony, and we're gonna listen to the song. Jesse Waters comes after Bernie Sanders. Jordan Peterson is gonna tell us his solution for motivating Gen Z. Because of course you want to hear from somebody who had to travel to Russia to put themselves in a coma to cure their fucking addiction. Kind of dude you want to take advice from. There had been a settlement with Purdue Pharma. The Supreme Court has stepped in and blocked the settlement. We're gonna hear the backstory on that. Purdue Pharma, of course, and the Sackler family, famous for poisoning an entire generation. Flash, good evening. I am a pre-watch Andy. Let's go over to X. Justin, pre-watch Andy. Flash making a cameo in my tweet. I picked a screenshot of me taking a bong rip. Speaking of which, Mr. JustinFREAKIN on Twitter. Mr. JustinFREAKIN on Twitter. Elon actually gave me my original Twitter back from the one I created back in like 2009 or some shit, 2010. So thank you for that. That's like the only good thing Elon's ever done, was giving me my Twitter back. Thank you, Elon. You can also follow me on TikTok. I'm JustinFREAKIN on everything else, but I'm Mr. JustinFREAKIN. Twitter. JustinFREAKIN not available on Twitter. Also not active. Has not posted since they created their account. Also back in like 2010. I can't be JustinFREAKIN on Twitter, unfortunately. Some bullshit. I've tweeted Elon about that. I even made a meme sucking up to him in hopes that would get Elon to give me the JustinFREAKIN handle on Twitter. Okay, so we're gonna get into the news. Nope, wrong one. Sorry. I get rusty after I've just laid on the couch for 2 days straight. My apologies. If you don't like the more violent and graphic, sad stories of the horrors that go on the streets of the United States of America, come back in about 20 minutes. Maybe. I don't know. We got a lot of stories to cover. But all the graphic, violent, that sort of thing, that's in the upfront tonight. After we get past that, it's all politics and bullshit. So true crime up front tonight, politics and bullshit in the back. It's just another day. Which one do you want to start with? Any, mini, money, Minneapolis punk show. 1 dead, 6 injured after a mass shooting at a Minneapolis punk show. Minneapolis police are looking for suspects who shot 7 people, killing 1 man. Police responded to the shooting at around 10 p.m. Early information indicates several adults were at the house venue Nudiland when someone walked up to the alley and began shooting. When you're not even safe in Nudiland, I can't even conceptualize something like that happening at a punk show. Honestly, Quinn McClurg, who was at the show, and that is the most punk name I've ever heard. Quinn McClurg, who was at the show. I was making sure all my friends were okay and making sure people are getting the help they needed. The suspects fled the scene. We believe one of the persons was being targeted by a shooter. This is according to Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara during a Saturday news conference. We know 2 suspects ran from the scene. We can't confirm there were 2 shooters, though. The man who died at the scene was in his 30s. One other person who was shot sustained life-threatening injuries. Basement punk show's not safe anymore. Seriously. Your playgrounds aren't safe. Just another day in the playgrounds of USA. 2 dead, 2 injured in a shooting at a Philadelphia playground. Authorities are searching for... This is how you get a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. 2 dead, 2 injured in a shooting at a Philadelphia playground. West Philadelphia, born and... I'm sorry. I'll see myself. 2 dead, 2 injured in a shooting at a Philadelphia playground. Authorities are searching for fun. And like, kids today don't even get that fucking reference. They don't know Will Smith as Fresh Prince. They know Will Smith is like fucking Willow's dad. These fucks don't even know Hancock. Let alone fucking Will and DJ Jazzy Jeff. Kids today only know the fucking drama on Peacock. Bel Air or whatever the fuck that shit's called. Authorities are searching for 5 people after the shooting, which killed Nyrese Moore, who was 22 years old, and Nasir Folk, who was, Moore was 22 and Folk was 24. A 23-year-old man was also shot twice in the abdomen. And a 21-year-old man was shot in the head, a leg, and a knee, apparently surviving. Taking 3 shots, including 1 in the head. Jazzy Jeff streams on Twitch. That's fucking awesome. I bet those streams are fantastic. Authorities are searching for 5 suspects after a shooting. This has been a very Fresh Princey fucking stream as of late. We had Carlton doing the 4th of July shit. Police said the victims were among a group of people gathered at the basketball courts when 5 males started shooting at the group just before 6 p.m. Friday and then fled. Police said Nyrese Moore and Nasir Folk were killed. 23-year-old man shot twice in the abdomen. 21-year-old man shot in the head, leg, knee. Were taken to Temple Medical Center and listed in critical condition. Police told the Philadelphia Inquirer that spent shell casings from 3 different caliber firearms were found in the courts. Mayor Jim Kenney said in a social media post that he was horrified and praying for the victims as well as their families and loved ones. Well, thank you. Appreciate your prayers. Libertad, good evening. It's just another day in downtown USA. This time in Memphis, Tennessee, where 8 people were shot. Don't believe we have any deaths. 8 people are injured after a shooting in downtown Memphis. Early on Sunday morning, Memphis police officers responded to the shooting at South B.B. King and Peabody Place. It happened around 2:30. Looks like everybody is in non-critical condition. Victims ranging from 19 to 54. Three females and the rest male. At 12:30 a.m., just a few hours before the shooting, MPD responded to the intersection at Gayoso and Ida B. Wells, where multiple individuals began gathering in vehicles. Ooh, is Chris here tonight? Chris, are you watching, my friend? We would love it if you said hey. We would love it if you called in. I appreciate all the support. I didn't do the effect to shade his face like that. Like, it just happened to be on the picture that I pulled his face from, and it worked out so well. I also made this one. I feel like he's a man that has no idea where the clitoris is. I'm horrible. At least I'm like not killing somebody because they're just dancing at a gas station. I mean, that dude's a lot worse than I am, right? I'm just making fun of some dumb fuck who showed up on my page. This dude is going to try to claim self-defense after he killed a guy that was just dancing at a gas station.
And the Brooklyn District Attorney announcing an indictment on murder as a hate crime charges against the teen accused in the murder of O'Shea Sibley in Midwood. News 12's Phil Tate joining us now from outside Brooklyn Supreme Court. He's got details and more on what this could mean for the accused teen. Phil.
Yeah, well, Dan, with this murder indictment, Brooklyn DA Eric Gonzalez says that teen now faces a minimum of 20 years to a maximum of 25 years to life following the death of O'Shea Sibley. And they say that the accused killer's actions were spewed in hate. Well, this all follows that day back on July 29th when police say Sibley and friends stopped at a Brooklyn gas station over in Midwood. It was there where Sibley was dancing outside of the car when police say a group started yelling derogatory anti-gay and anti-black slurs. Well, things quickly went south as that dispute turned violent, resulting in a deadly stabbing. A prosecutor says Sibley was just shy of his 29th birthday and also add that the attack goes beyond racial and orientation bias.
It's clear to me, under the circumstances of this case, that the insubstantial part of this attack was caused because people were offended by Mr. Sibley and his friends, dancing and celebrating. And it doesn't matter what the religion is.
So this is America.
The perpetrator, the bias we allege was in his heart and his statements.
Now, the DA says that that 17-year-old's name will not be released as of yet, and that arraignment is expected to take place tomorrow. That's the very latest here outside of Brooklyn Supreme Court. I'm Phil Tate, News 12.
Thank you, Phil Tate. News 12. 17-year-old stabbed the dude. That's just insane. Also insane, the wildfires devastating Hawaii.
1,400 people remain in shelters as the state works to find them homes. Governor Josh Green says 2,200 structures have burned. 96% were residential. He says they've already secured 1,000 rooms, 500 going to displaced residents, and 500 going to fire response support teams. Green says in the coming days they'll have long-term rentals.
It's going to be covered by the state. Some of it's going to be given charitably. And then finally, FEMA will cover a great deal of the cost.
40,000 people have left Maui with 600 to 800 passengers still waiting to leave. The media was invited on a tour into West Maui today to document the destruction firsthand. Our Chelsea Davis was there. She has more on what government officials are doing to help the Lahaina community rebuild.
County, state, and federal agencies invited the media on a tour down Front Street to show us the extent of the devastation. They say help is here and they vow more is on the way. They took us down to Puamana for the first time. That's where we saw home after home, vehicle after vehicle completely charred. We also saw X's on the cars and structures. FEMA tells us that indicates local agencies have already checked those homes and vehicles for survivors or remains. But FEMA will go back in again and check for a second time. Governor Green says he believes the death toll will go up significantly, but he's not sure yet.
We're already at 93.
We're going into the houses for the first time. There were already 80 fatalities. It's going to rise. It will.
We're at 93 right now.
Worst natural disaster Hawaii ever faced. It may be the worst fire that America ever faced.
Probably more since I've been on.
After Puamana, we went down to Front Street, where Governor Green calls it ground zero.
As President Biden has said, he's committed to leveraging fully all the assets in the federal government to deploy in Hawaii for the long term.
An arborist says they'll try to restore historic Lahaina town's iconic banyan tree, but no promises it'll come back to life. We also saw the cadaver dogs.
It's always a challenge in a fire situation, but our canines are going through with their handlers, and also our USAR personnel on foot, so combined effort. If the dogs hit on remains, we'll verify that with a second dog, and then our personnel will engage.
I want them to know that we have the top leadership in America here, sent straight from President Biden's cabinet. We want them to know that all the resources that can be had will be had.
They're still very much in life-saving, life-sustaining. Our urban search and rescue teams are marking them to whether they're structurally safe or not. To continue to protect people, to make sure that they don't go into a building and then it suddenly collapses.
Reporting along Front Street in Lahaina, Chelsea Davis, Hawaii News Now.
Hawaiian Electric restored additional circuits today in West Maui, including customers along the Ka'anapali coast. Hotels, resorts, and condos have been without power since Tuesday. Since Friday, about 5,500 customers have had power restored. Once power is fully restored to the resort area, state and Maui County officials will work with hotels and resorts to provide rooms for displaced residents.
So this is now the deadliest fire in the history of the country. 93 and rising. It's probably gone up since we've been on. 93 as of this afternoon. God damn, they are expecting it to continue to rise. Also rising, COVID cases. Here's an old friend coming back to see us again. COVID cases are on the rise. We have a new variant. CBS Health Watch.
Fast-spreading new subvariant of the coronavirus that's raising concerns among health officials around the world. The CDC says the EG5 variant, otherwise known as ERIS, now makes up the largest portion of new COVID-19 infections nationwide.
The agency projects the variant caused approximately 17% of new coronavirus cases in the U.S. as of Saturday. That's an increase of around 10% from the first week of July. So for more on this, we want to bring in Dr. Bob Lahita. He's the director of the
What up, Bob?
for autoimmune and rheumatic diseases at St. Joseph Health. And he's also the author of Immunity Strong. And also, we always have him on Fridays. So I know it's a good day when I see Dr. Bob. But what's going on, Dr. Bob? We've got coronavirus going around again. Tell us more about this EG5 variant.
What's going on, Dr. Bob? Tell us about COVID.
Of the variant, the Omicron.
Richard, good evening.
This is a strain, and these strains arrive, as Anne-Marie, as you know, we talked about upregulation and downregulation of the virus, and fortunately, most of the population has immunity, adaptive immunity to this virus, which means their immune systems, our immune systems, recognize the Omicron. And the Omicron, fortunately, has been mild, except that 43% increase in hospital admissions over July, which is of some concern. And secondly, we have wastewater. Remember, we look for the virus in wastewater, and in wastewater, the numbers have increased. And if you talk to the pharmacies like Rite Aid, they're seeing more self-testing being sold. Over 50% of their pharmacies are seeing an increase in self-test kits going out. So all of that is an indication that things are beginning to heat up again.
Okay, so Dr. Bob, let me ask you this. If you're someone who's been vaccinated,
Right as we're going back to school,
been infected, I have, are you going to have an easier time dealing with this new variant if you get it?
And can I just add a B part to you? If your infection was the Omicron variant, does that also help?
That does help. You have immunity, David, and so do you, Anne-Marie. In fact, we all do, because most of us, and I say the great population of the country, has had at least one vaccination. Many, many people have had the boosters, but let's not relax, because elderly people and those who are immunocompromised can still get the Omicron, which can wreak havoc on their immune systems. It all depends on our own.
Oh, you don't like Dr. Bob?
System, like their fingerprints, is different. So you have to understand that your neighbor may be very, very ill from the Omicron variant, especially the EG5, and you may have no symptoms whatsoever. But the other thing to remember is if you do get the Omicron, you can still get long haul syndrome, which you remember is...
We're going to talk about that.
Loss of taste, loss of smell. Some of my patients have paralysis.
No, what he's saying is, like, we all have some level of immunity at this point in time, right? Because, like, most of us have had the vaccine. And pretty much everyone that, you know, goes out and interacts with people has had the virus. So you have some level of immunity. I think that's what he's saying, and he's correct on that point. Like, and here's the thing, like, I get so upset with right-wingers. They love to say, like, well, the vaccine doesn't prevent you from getting it or spreading it. No, that's not the way vaccines work, is they initiate a immune response from your body. So they're helping, like, train your body in how to handle a virus that's never existed before. That's why COVID was so dangerous. Your body doesn't know how to handle it. So because the vaccine replicates the existence of the virus in your body, it trains your immune system. And this isn't a fail-safe. It's not a binary on or off. Like, there's levels of protection. So somebody who has been vaccinated and has gotten the virus has a higher level of protection than someone who might have, like, got the virus early on, never got the vaccination. Or your immune system wanes. So, like, immunity to COVID goes away, like, after we're like with the vaccine. It's something like 6 months, 8 months, like that. I think it was slightly less when you've had the virus. Yeah, Richard, I just saw your message. So like it's a game of numbers, and it's not like one. Right wingers like to act like because it didn't prevent it entirely, it doesn't work completely, and that's not how anything works. And you know, that's a failure of public health officials of not relaying that. That's a failure of our media, but also it's a failure of, like, people are dumb. So like it's just a perfect storm of stupidity. I don't think that's what he was framing it at all. Like, and I'm pretty sure he would recommend that you get the booster. But like, we all do have some level of immunity at this point, pretty much. You'd have to be living under a rock.
Extended period of time of their arms or their legs. So this is serious stuff.
So the World Health Organization labeled this new variant, EG5, a variant of interest. What does that labeling sort of really mean in real life?
It means it's being watched. It's not a variant of concern. There's always a possibility, especially with us clustering in air-conditioned rooms during the summer because of the heat, there's always that possibility that a new variant, which is deadly, will arise. Now, we all remember the Delta variant back in 2020, which wreaked havoc, and our emergency rooms couldn't handle, and the ICUs couldn't handle the numbers of patients. That's always a possibility going forward, but I doubt it's going to happen, only because all of us have herd immunity, plus we've all been vaccinated for the most part.
So, Dr. Bob, you talk about herd
Yeah, we've all been vaccinated. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Your warning to us today along the lines of a warning we would do as we get into flu. Right? Is this sort of the common flu, the common COVID, nothing to panic over?
The common COVID.
As we move forward.
It's something to keep in mind because, you know, as fall comes into the country, autumn, we get the common cold, which is also a coronavirus, not to be confused with COVID. But we've got to be careful, and I presume that's why the kit sales, the self-testing kits, are increasing in number because people are concerned. I know here in our clinics, when somebody comes in with a slight fever and sniffles, which could be a common cold, we get very nervous. Everybody puts on a mask. We start washing our hands, and we prohibit the patient from...
You're not wearing a mask at all times anyway. You're a medical facility.
Note of caution, because it's not like it was in 2018 where everybody got a cold and nobody worried about anything. Right now,
He may be a quack.
That I can see. People are hoarding together in gatherings, parties, all sorts of things. So yes, we have to be careful. Again, it's not of concern, but it's to be observed and watched.
Okay.
So I have a confession.
The orgies have come back.
I got 3 boosters, then I ended up getting the coronavirus. And I figure that's like 4 times the exposure.
Did you have a mild experience once you got it?
Yeah, I'm definitely, I'm into it. I'm into it.
Yeah.
But now we're hearing about the possibility of new vaccines, right? And we were kind of told that, you know, the protocol may be in the future something like a flu vaccine where you got to get it, you know, every season.
Yeah.
So
I'm into it is probably not the right way to say that.
season. What can you tell us about, you know, what to expect, what the developments might be, if there are any new developments?
Well, I know there are vaccines in development against the ARN or EG5 variant of the Omicron strain. And that is going to come forward. And
Yeah, I don't know that I like these anchors.
all of the professionals that work in hospitals, police officers, EMS people, we will all be vaccinated with a booster that includes the EG5 variant. Now, that's just a precautionary thing because the likelihood of it causing or wreaking havoc as it did back in, again, 2020, 2019 is not likely. However, it is better to be prepared than to be sorry because you know how fast this infection went through the population.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, indeed.
Dr. Bob, thank you. This was a good chat.
Thanks, David. Thanks, Anne-Marie.
I'm not sure. Shut up, Lester. Oh, wait a minute. That's the other channel. Who's the CBS anchor? I don't even know who the CBS anchor is to yell at them. I'm seriously drawing a blank. I have no idea who the CBS anchor. It used to be Dan Rather once upon a time. It certainly is not anymore. Long COVID is devastating and far from rare. As infections rise again, why are we still ignoring it? That's a damn good question. As COVID cases rise again, we are unprepared for the mass disabling event caused by long COVID. On May 11th, 2023, the federal public health emergency declaration for COVID-19 came to an end only a few months later, and cases are already starting to surge across the country again. This decision was made despite emerging science surrounding long COVID, a condition in which symptoms of the disease linger for months or even years, while the general public ignores and downplays the risk of SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID. Long COVID may well prove to be one of the biggest health problems of the 21st century, presenting a real risk that a secondary pandemic of chronic illness will be overlooked. While this seems to be getting back to normal for most people, those with long COVID are still suffering. And this suffering will likely continue to indefinitely if nothing is done to change course. I was talking to my buddy earlier. He, was taking a rip on the bong and he had a vape. And he got all choked up. And I was like, I bet COVID has affected all of our lung capacity. It might be slight. It might be 3%, 4%. It might be as much as like 20% of some people. But it's had an effect on all of us, I do believe. And yet the right-wingers are just like, well, let's everybody get COVID. Let's not try to prevent it from spreading everywhere. Oh, holy shit. I can't believe we lived through that. And still living through it. Holy shit, guys. That's pretty much been the existence of the Troll Patrol. The Troll Patrol debuted in April of 2020. Existence has been completely, well, not really. I have several dry runs of the Troll Patrol. You never got it, Flash? Some people, are you a ginger? Some people have an immunity to it. That they just never catch it, and there seems to be a connection between gingers and not getting it. Are you guys all gingers? Is everybody a ginger in here? Only a ginger. Maui truthers? Oh, don't tell me there's already conspiracies popping up about the fires. Are you serious? How'd it pop up that fast? I don't know for certain that I had it, but I'm pretty certain that I had it. Wow. Why? What would, the government wants to burn down their own city? Why would they do that? Libertad, usually Hawaii is like a pleasant 78 on a hot day. Like it gets up like 80, 81 on a hot day. Like it's. Oh, wait a minute. You don't know what Libertad is across the pond. I don't know what that is in Celsius. I can't translate that to you. But it's pleasant. It's very pleasant. And there's always like a cool breeze coming off the ocean. It's so nice. The drag queens would not want to take out Hawaii, I assure you. There are plenty of places the drag queens might want to take laser beams to, space lasers. Do not think that Maui would be one of them. So we're gonna go to CNN and Jake Tapper, who had on Jim Comer, who is the chair of the House Oversight Committee. Tapper is going to ask Comer about the Trump family business dealings.
Said even though there's no evidence Biden personally took the money, it doesn't get him off the hook. It calls the argument, quote, a hollow claim no other American would be afforded if their family members accepted foreign payments or bribes, unquote. Okay, fair enough. Let me play something that Chris Christie told our Caitlin Collins.
Jared Kushner, 6 months after he leaves the White House, gets $2 billion from the Saudi sovereign wealth fund when Donald Trump had put him in a position to be in the Middle East. What was Jared Kushner doing in the Middle East?
Again, sir, it all stinks to me. It all stinks.
Yeah.
EU.
And I've been vocal that I think that what Kushner did crossed the line of ethics. But what Christie said, it happened after he left office. Still no excuse, Jake, but it happened after he left office. And Jared Kushner actually has a legitimate business. This money from the Bidens happened while Joe Biden was vice president.
They try to act like we don't know of any money to Joe Biden. I hate to keep it seems like I'm playing defense for Joe Biden, and I don't want to do that. Man. I want to attack Joe Biden. But right-wingers keep coming at the dude with fucking nonsense, and we can't talk about the real fucking issues. There are plenty of reasons to attack Joe Biden. None of them have to do with, like, stupid business deals. I'm sorry, fucking stupid Republicans. But apparently the Democrats are now going to go after the Trump family dealings. This is according to Jamie Raskin, who was on ABC's This Week earlier today.
Well, look, whether or not it's criminal, whether or not it warrants special counsel status, are you concerned about this stuff?
Here's what I'm concerned about. During the Trump administration, we saw the development of a completely new public philosophy, which is that government is not an instrument of the common good and the public interest. Government is an instrument for private self-enrichment, for the guy who gets in, for his family, for his private businesses. And that's a model that we're seeing all over the world.
But you don't approve of that model, obviously.
I do not.
You denounced that model.
That's what Putin is doing.
Donald Trump, yeah.
That's what Orban is doing. That's what Marcos is doing. That's what El Sisi is doing. That's what
it's been going on since the dawn of mankind.
Well, but it's new for America that somebody would get in and basically just say, everything is corrupt and I'm just as corrupt as the next guy and I'm going to take money, as Trump did, from China, from Saudi Arabia, from the United Arab Emirates. I mean, look, his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, pocketed a cool $2 billion
from Saudi Arabia.
Billion with a B.
The Saudi portfolio in the White House. But what about Hunter?
So I am concerned about it, and I'm concerned not just about public officials like Donald Trump and Jared Kushner who do it, but even family members who water ski along for the ride. And I have been, begging my colleague, Chairman Comer, for us to do a serious analysis of what we
may get some fucking movement on insider trading.
investigation.
Yes, of course we would. And we're going to release a report about all of the foreign government emoluments, millions of dollars.
Richard, that is like one thing, like, I think the freedom cock, the batshit crazy part of the Republican Party, they will actually work with the Democrats, the Progressive Caucus, on that issue. That, like, one issue alone, they're cool with that. They want to do away with insider trading, and I think we as progressives should really push that, because like there is a segment of the Republican Party that would come along with it, and it's the worst goddamn people. But like, if you can work with them to get that done, and it is Matt Gaetz, it's Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's Lauren Boebert, it's those Republicans, Thomas Massey, so some of the more libertarian leaning ones too. We should really fucking push that issue, because I think that, like, Nancy Pelosi has put up a fight. That's one of the reasons why it, like, hasn't been brought to the floor yet. But, like, we have seen a lot of people come forward and show support for legislation to end Congress from being able to own stock, and seen it actually go into committees. And I never thought I'd see that happen. So we need to keep pushing that. Matt, what are you doing?
We can document that Donald Trump pocketed at the hotels, at the golf courses, through business deals when he was president, and that his family got. But they've not laid a glove on Joe Biden as president. They haven't been able to show any criminal corruption on his part. What they've got is Hunter Biden, and we all seem clear that this guy was addicted to drugs and did a lot of really unlawful and wrong things. And we have said, let the justice system run its course. They're not saying that about Donald Trump. Anytime Donald Trump actually gets indicted after a grand jury has already determined that there's probably cause to prosecutors.
I guess I should probably like just redo this exact drop and put Hunter Biden's
I was on crack.
face on it. Still be Mike Lindell saying, I was on crack, but put Hunter Biden's face. That would be funny. Yep, totally gonna do that. Speaking of the Trump family, you want to hear from old Trumpy boy? He was in Iowa along with several other presidential contenders. The 2024 campaign is heating up, guys. We are like 11 days from the first Republican presidential debate. Let me say that again. We're like 11 days from the first Republican presidential debate. We still don't know if Trump is going to participate. I think he's going to. I think he's leaning towards it. That's just my opinion. But like, there's a million reasons for him not to do it. When you're the front runner and you have nothing to lose, but a flub could set you. You have everything to lose and nothing to gain, right? But it's Trump, and he likes being in front of people. He likes a crowd. He likes a good audience on TV. He has floated. If you guys haven't heard about it, he has floated that he might come and just watch, and that he'll sit in the crowd and watch the other candidates debate. That would be amazing. I would love it if he watched, and then they would come over to him if they did like each round, come over and like ask Trump what he thought about their debate performance. That would be amazing. Yeah, and like Flash, who knows How many different ways he'll incriminate himself if he gets up on stage and starts talking during a debate. Dustin, did I tell you good evening? Because good evening, my friend. I'm so happy to see you. Not happy to see Trump, though.
A frenzy of a Saturday here at the Iowa State Fair. A majority of the Republican candidates here ahead of that critical debate in Milwaukee, now just days away.
I'm so honored to see this crowd. It's amazing. This is a record crowd. They've never had anything like it. So look at it as far as the eye can see.
Former President Donald Trump arriving at the fairgrounds Saturday afternoon. The president yet to commit to attending the debate in Milwaukee. In recent days saying he's going to announce his final decision this upcoming week. Other candidates here today who will be on stage, former U.S. Ambassador and Governor Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who took a walk around the building where Trump was speaking a few minutes before Trump arrived. I'm curious, as you look to the first debate, what you need to do and how you're preparing to do that.
Looking forward to the debate. I mean, it's a great chance for the American people to see what their options are. And I can tell you, we have done dozens and dozens of town halls in New Hampshire and Iowa and South Carolina. We take every question and we answer them. So the people of Iowa have gotten me ready for this debate.
Looking ahead to the debate in Milwaukee, how are you preparing?
Ramaswamy has gone into
there's going to be many debates, so the first debate's just the first step. A preview there of our special edition of Up Front coming up.
He's in second place now.
Conversations one-on-one with the candidates, how they're preparing for the debate in Milwaukee, now just days away, coming up Sunday morning on Up Front. At the Iowa State Fair, I'm Matt Smith, WISN 12 News.
And this is a must-see special edition of Up Front, now just hours away. Tomorrow morning, the inside look at debate prep ahead of the Milwaukee debate and Matt's exclusive conversations with the candidates. We've got that show tomorrow morning at 9.
I'm sorry, Vivek? While Trump was in Iowa, he was asked a couple of different questions. I find these interesting. This is the first one. Sorry, X is being a little difficult. X is not the best platform.
Can't win the fairway. He's way down in the polls.
President Trump, did you intend to overturn the 2020 election?
You know the answer to this. Can't win the fairway. He's way.
So Trump was asked, did you intend to overturn the 2020 election?
Down in the polls.
President Trump, did you intend to overturn the 2020 election?
You know the answer to this.
You know the answer to that. Yes, Mr. Trump, I do. You did intend to overturn the 2020 election. I absolutely know the answer to that. You're correct. We all know the answer to that. I mean, that is one of the most honest things that Donald Trump has ever said in his life. We all know the answer to that. And the answer is yes. He tried to overturn the 2020 election. When asked if he would take a plea deal if offered to him, I don't even know which case they're referring to. The classified documents case? The overturning of the election?
Is there any chance you take a plea deal in Georgia?
We did nothing wrong. We don't ever take a plea deal.
Yes, sir.
We don't take plea deals. It's a wise guy question. I'm going to treat Mr. Wise Guy.
Mr. Wise Guy.
Because I did nothing wrong. It's called election interference. You know what that is? Because these indictments are brought out by Biden. You can't even put two sentences together. This is Joe Biden because he can't win the election by himself. He can't win the election based on votes.
For someone to have lost the popular vote by as much as he did twice, he sure is confident. Right-wingers are fucking morons. Completely incapable of feeling embarrassment. You lost by almost 8 million votes. You're like, Joe Biden can't win. He beat you by a historic margin. The Georgia case, flash, we are expecting the indictment this week. Yes, Yes, that is the phone call and so much more. There even involves Kanye harassing poll workers. Or Kanye's assistant or some shit. Seriously. There's so much shit going on in Georgia, but that indictment is expected to come down this week. The grand jury is meeting on Tuesday. We could see Trump indictment this Tuesday. Also possible we could see it on a Thursday.
So what they did is they got the Attorney General to do it. And then you see how stupid they acted yesterday with the appointment of the special counsel. Call it special counsel. And what a crazy thing that was. And it's being laughed at all over the world. The fact is that we have a country that's in serious trouble. We have a country that's in major decline. I don't mean decline, I mean major decline. And we're going to straighten it out. This group and a lot of people just like this group, we're going to straighten it out and we're going to make America great again. It's a wise guy. Thank you very much.
Wise guy. To be honest with you, what Trump was trying to do was call a loaded question fallacy. Unwise guy. He called it a wise guy question. But that's what he meant, was that it's a question you can't answer without appearing guilty. That's what Trump was trying to do. He didn't use it right. But I'll give him props for trying. Republicans in Nevada are actually trying to pre-rig the vote for Trump. Get this shit. Republicans in Nevada could have 2 chances next year to decide who they want to be their party's presidential nominee. The catch, only one will count. The Nevada GOP is insisting on holding its own caucus despite a new state law calling for a primary election. A move critics say is designed to benefit former President Donald Trump. The competing contests are likely to confuse some and require GOP campaigns to spend extra time and money educating voters in one of the earliest states to cast ballots. The results in the GOP primary are unlikely to matter because the state Republican Party has said it will use its party-run caucus to determine which candidate will receive the state's delegates to the Republican National Convention. An official caucus date has not yet been set, but is expected to be around the same time as the February 6th primary, which falls after the Iowa caucus and primaries in New Hampshire and South Carolina. I do believe it's going to create confusion among the voters, said Tammy Ray Sparrow, the state's longest-serving county clerk, who is based in rural Humboldt County, which leans heavily Republican. Sparrow said she already is preparing a voter education strategy that will include interviews with local news outlets and social media posts, although she's not quite sure how to explain that the primary results may not matter in nominating a Republican presidential candidate. It's not the first time states and political parties have proposed dueling nominating methods. In 2016, Washington State spent $9 million on a meaningless primary after the state Democratic Party held its own caucus to determine a nominee, and Trump's Republican challengers had all dropped out by the time voters were scheduled to cast ballots. Some state parties have even relied on multiple contests. For years, the Texas two-step featured both a caucus and a presidential primary to divide delegates before it was discontinued before the 2016 election. Similar strategy is likely to play out next year in Michigan, one of several states where the Republican Party is controlled by Trump allies who have altered delegate rules in ways that seem favorable to the former president. Assholes. A pastor is saying that Christianity, apparently the country is in crisis, and he's blaming Trump. He was a top church official who criticized Trump. He says that Christianity is in crisis. Now, I'm going to, one of the stories that he tells in this story is just It's not shocking. I'm not like, I'm flabbergasted, yes, but I'm not surprised. When Donald Trump came on the scene, Russell Moore, one of the top officials in the Southern Baptist Convention, which means he probably helped cover up child abuse, by the way, criticized Trump publicly, found himself ostracized by many other evangelical leaders who embraced the former president. Moore also criticized the Southern Baptist Convention's response to a sexual... Okay, maybe he spoke up on that. I withdraw my criticism. Moore also criticized the Southern Baptist Convention's response to a sexual abuse crisis, as well as what he viewed as an increased tolerance for white nationalism within the church. Suddenly, in 2021, Moore found himself resigning from his post and on the outside of a denomination that had, up until that point, defined his life. Moore is now the editor-in-chief of Christianity Today magazine and has written a new book, Losing Our Religion. It's a book plug. God damn it, I'm sorry. Moore believes part of the problem is that almost every part of American life is tribalized and factionalized, and that is extended to the church. I think if we're going to get past the blood and soil sorts of nationalism or all the other kinds of totalitarian cultural identities, it's going to require rethinking what the church is. During his time in office, Trump embraced a Christian nationalist stance, the idea that the U.S. is a Christian country and should enforce those beliefs. In the run-up to the 2024 presidential election, Republican candidates are again vying for the influential evangelical Christian vote. So this is the story. This is the story I wanted to highlight on why he thinks Christianity is in crisis. It was the result of having multiple pastors tell me, essentially, the same story about quoting the Sermon on the Mount. Parenthetically, in their preaching, turn the other cheek. And to have someone come up after to say, where did you get those liberal talking points? And what was alarming to me is that in most of these scenarios, when the pastor would say, I'm literally quoting Jesus. He's literally quoting Jesus, you absolute dipshit. The response would not be, I apologize. The response would be, yes, but that doesn't work anymore. That's weak. And when we get to the point where the teachings of Jesus himself are seen as subversive to us, then we're in a crisis. If you would like to read the whole interview, I'm going to drop it in the chat. I wanted to highlight that story. Literally quoting the teachings of Jesus. Liberal talking points. The Bible is liberal talking points now. Especially the part about the horse cum. I might have to go to a different browser for this story. I've been smoking the more sativa blend of the marijuana. I think it's having an effect on me. I'm kind of slurring my words. Wake up, Justin. God damn it. So this is the body cam footage of the arrest of Ammon Bundy, the far-right militia leader and activist.
How would you like that if that was taken to your children, your baby? How would you like that? How would you like that? How would you like that? You took a baby you shouldn't have taken. Okay. Yeah. How would you
Oh, wait a minute. This is from 2022.
Yeah, just be quiet, huh? Is that what you would do?
I'm sorry, this video is unrelated. God damn it. Oh, it's not unrelated. So, the Idaho St. Luke's Health System filed a defamation lawsuit against Bundy, who was immersed in protests against restrictions of public health guidance during the COVID-19 pandemic, after he falsely accused the state's largest hospital network of kidnapping the grandson of an associate and running a child trafficking ring. Of course, a video posted to Bundy's social media shows officers leading him away from his son's high school football fundraiser in handcuffs. Last month, a jury ruled against Bundy by default and ordered him to pay $26 million as part of a broader judgment against him and other defendants in the case. In April, a judge levied a contempt of court charge against him for his failure to turn up in court. He was booked into the Gem County Jail on a $10,000 bond. In a video posted to social media earlier this week, Bundy said he has been traveling while avoiding the warrant. Law enforcement had previously avoided serving him legal papers on his property out of concerns for the officer's safety. Of course they did. There we go, that's him being arrested. Take him away, boys. Satisfying. We will go back. We'll watch the video. So this is the original confrontation that the hospital system sued over.
How would you like that if that was taken to your children, your baby? How would you like that? How would you like that? How would you like that? You took a baby you shouldn't have taken. Okay. Yeah. How would you like that if they took your baby? Yeah, just be quiet, huh? Is that what you would do?
Are you guys even married? Do you have babies?
You took a baby you shouldn't have taken. That's criminal. Criminal. You're supposed to uphold the law and protect the people.
Apparently the baby was severely malnourished.
Not the hospitals, not the bureaucrats. Not those. You're supposed to protect the people. You have children that you love. You probably do too. That baby is no more loved than, that baby is in the best place when he's with his kids. Those parents love them. You took the wrong baby. It's criminal. You think we're joking?
Dude is batshit.
You think you can just take babies when you want to?
How dare you do this crime?
That baby is loved with their parents.
Stealing an innocent
God
child.
gave the baby to the parents, not you. You don't have the right to take something that doesn't belong to you. That's what criminals do. You're supposed to stop that, not do it. You're supposed to stop that. You understand that, right? It don't matter whether you try to ignore me or not. You can listen to me. You can hear. I'm telling you, you're not going to like what's coming. Okay? Get that.
Oh, somebody's speaking in tongues.
Quickly. That baby belongs to the parents, not to you. You don't even know the situation, do you? You took the wrong baby.
Apparently the kid was incredibly malnourished.
Yeah.
The baby.
Okay. Right
And
now,
the mother be safe.
you're blocking the ambulance bay.
If the ambulance comes in, we'll move.
No. That's not how this works.
No, you need to get the baby out here.
You're blocking the ambulance bay, and you're welcome to
Slam him on the fucking ground.
go over there where the signs are, in the grassy area right there.
Or
Okay?
what? Are you going to arrest us?
You're going to be cited for trespassing, okay?
I'll take a citation.
That's fine. Gentlemen,
No gentlemen.
Obey orders.
No.
What about the baby? You
It's
took
your
the wrong.
decision.
What's your name?
From a family.
Bring the baby back now.
I didn't take anybody.
Criminal.
All right?
Well, you're
This
being
is your
just as
decision.
criminal
You've
by
been warned.
doing this.
Go ahead, take my picture. You've been warned. You are now
No, you have not been
trespassing.
warned.
Okay?
You guys. You took the baby. The hospital does not own the babies.
That's a human trafficking. We know
Yes,
this.
it does. It has
I'm
everything to do with the
from
hospital.
I know.
You guys are.
The hospital does not own the babies.
It came from your doctor. We know what's going on. We know exactly what's going on. What are you doing? No. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Take her to.
Break her arm. Do a police brutality. I encourage it this time.
They just shouldn't have. They don't leave. Don't. What do you
He's been involved in all kinds of shit. I can't even go through, like, they were held up at this wildlife or a wildlife sanctuary or something like that. And like his cousin or his uncle brother got shot and killed by the feds. There was a whole thing about that. He was in a dispute over grazing, right? So you can only graze your cattle so much on federal lands. Like you only get so much of the, which is called conservation. And apparently this dude had some kind of fucking ranch. He's a little, little mini millionaire. And he had some sort of fucking ranch, and he was grazing his cattle on the federal lands and shit. And they kept telling him not to. And he was like, well, you can't own the land, blah, 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 blah. Because he's probably one of those sovereign citizens motherfuckers. Why is this religious motherfucker that wants to talk to us about Jesus not calling in? There's a whole argument going on my page. No, come argue on my show. Tones, good evening. You missed Ammon Bundy getting arrested. That was fun. This is good shit, pal. Supreme Court puts the Purdue Pharma bankruptcy deal on hold. So I'm holding out judgment on whether this is good or bad. Like, Purdue Pharma got off easy. The Sackler family got off incredibly easy. So if they're putting it on hold to revisit it and lay the smackdown on Purdue Pharma and the Sacklers specifically, like, I'm all for it. I just don't see our Supreme Court doing that. So let's see what we got going on here. As soon as I figure out this volume deal.
To some more breaking news now, just into us in the last couple of hours. The Supreme Court putting the bankruptcy reorganization of Purdue Pharma, the maker of OxyContin, on hold. That's after the Biden administration objected to a part of this deal that protected the Sackler family that controls the company from liability. Now, the family had agreed to pay $6 billion toward opioid-related lawsuits, but only as long as they were shielded from any future cases against the company. Now, we've talked about it on this show. OxyContin is the powerful painkiller that was marketed aggressively by Purdue, arguing it was not addictive. The opioid crisis that followed has killed thousands a year over the last decade. NBC's Lawrence Hurley covers the Supreme Court and joins us now. So, Lawrence, where does this case go from here, right? What are the implications, too, for the Sackler family?
So for right now, this decision by the Supreme Court, which is just a preliminary decision, puts everything on hold, which means the deal won't go into effect. The bankruptcy is not settled. And the Supreme Court is going to hear arguments in December and then issue a ruling sometime next year, probably early next year that will provide some certainty on what's going to happen. And so in the meantime, everything's sort of up in the air with this agreement. The company itself has kind of criticized this case, the fact that the U.S. bankruptcy trustee who brought this appeal, who's objecting to the settlement, is actually holding up distribution of funds that would have gone to victims of the opioid epidemic as the company seeks to kind of reorganize itself. So that is now not going to happen in the meantime. But of course, once the Supreme Court ruling happens, then we'll see how this plays out.
I'm still not understanding if we're going to get like holy hell should rain down on the Sackler family and Purdue. Purdue Pharma should not be a thing. The government should nationalize it. The Sackler family should be imprisoned. At the very least. That's like the common sense approach. That's the middle of the road position. You don't want to know what the leftist position is. So you should probably do the middle of the road position. Speaking of leftists, goddamn Jesse Waters tried to come for Bernie Sanders. How you gonna try to come for Bernie Sanders? How you gonna make your name?
Well, America's favorite socialist, Bernie Sanders, made a name for himself by promising to redistribute the wealth. Turns out he has made good on that promise. He's taking the wealth from his campaign donors and he's redistributing it to his family. According to a report from Fox Digital, Bernie quietly funneled $200,000 from his campaign fund to the Sanders Institute. Well, what's the Sanders Institute? It's a good question. According to Bernie, it doesn't exist. Because in 2019, while Bernie was preparing for a second run to the White House, the Sanders Institute said it was ceasing operations to avoid the appearance of impropriety. But we looked at the books, and the Sanders Institute never shut down. They're still cutting checks. The Sanders Institute cut a check for $100,000 to their executive director, Dave Driscoll. Who's Dave Driscoll? It's Bernie's stepson. Who runs the Sanders Institute? Oh, well, that would be Bernie's wife, Jane. So if you donate to Bernie Sanders for president,
$100,000,
thousands of dollars go to Bernie's wife and kids.
Whoa. So his stepson got paid $100,000 from the Sanders Institute. Yeah, see, how much do you make? How much is your contract for? This is wild. This multimillionaire is sitting over here talking about like $100,000 like it's a lot of money.
That's a felony. But in Washington, that's business as usual. And this isn't the first time Bernie's wife was flagged for financial shenanigans. Bernie's wife, Jane Sanders, had to step down from Burlington College for falsifying records to get a shady $10 million loan. But she left with $200,000 in severance, and then that teeny college closed for good, citing crippling debt. We've invited Bernie Sanders to appear on Jesse Waters Primetime to explain his campaign finance scandal. Let's see if he's man enough to show up. But we'll also take his wife.
Take my wife. Yuck, yuck, yuck. No, there's nothing for Bernie to gain by going on your show, Jesse. Here's the thing is Bernie isn't going to want to talk about anything but policy to help your viewers. So, like, if you could ask him questions about some personal scandal that you think he's involved in, and he's just going to turn around and be like, the billionaires are taking advantage of the working class in this country, and we need to change the tax policy. We need to provide everyone with health care. Like he's impervious to your questions about bullshit. He will just turn it completely around and go back to talking about helping people. So Good luck with that, Jesse Waters. Even if he did come on, he would chew you up and spit you out. Hit you with a right hook like a Ryan Grimm did. Ah ha ha. Let's go to Arkansas, where a GOP representative's wife is going into libraries and replacing library books with Bibles. With Bibles. Keep removing them. Arkansas GOP rep's wife shredded for swapping library books with Bibles. This dude looks like Jared Fogle. Keep him away from the kids. Arkansas Republican State Representative Stephen Meeks. That would be Mr. Meeks right there. His wife, Jennifer Meeks, is receiving backlash after setting out to replace free neighborhood books with Bibles. Faulkner County Coalition for Social Justice recently called out the congressman's wife via Facebook, saying she has been busy posting about the little free libraries across Faulkner County and the group of leftists who are very active in keeping the little libraries stocked. Per Newsweek, Meeks took to Facebook to write, "I have been swapping out books in little free libraries for a while. Recently, I've been picking up free Bibles at flea markets and thrift stores. Sometimes I find good devotion books or kids' Bible stories at a good price to add. Or just great books and a gospel tact is a nice idea too. From what I have seen, a lot of these books and other things don't align with our Christian values. Today I saw a bunch of pride stuff in one." According to the report, Little Free Library is a non-profit that promotes neighborhood book exchanges and American literacy through public bookcases, and have a take a book, share a book honor system where people are encouraged to borrow and donate books as they choose. The GOP leader ran to his wife's defense, claiming her words were being taken out of context, and clarified that she did not take out any LGBTQ-related materials in exchange for the Bibles she has added to the libraries, nor would she advocate for others to do something similar. He told Newsweek, "Somebody on the left took that Somebody on the left took what she said at face value." That's what he's saying. Somebody on the left took that and interpreted it as my wife going all over Central Arkansas, pulling pride books out of these little libraries and replacing them with Bibles, and nothing is further from the truth. My wife did not do that. She would not advocate for that. She would be opposed to that. Facebook users slammed Jennifer's efforts under FCCSJ's post, writing, "So conservatives are essentially stealing books that they don't like and destroying them." Of course they are. That's what they always do. Arkansas State Representative Stephen Meeks. Stephen Meeks, everybody. This generation is doomed. I have no clue what this, it's only a minute long. I have no clue what this is. This is Charlie Kirk's Rumble channel. This generation is doomed. This generation is doomed. No idea. Let's see what it is.
Boys are stronger than girls.
Well, physically, like, for the most part, in gender roles and stuff like that, boys are just supposed to be stronger. That's just a thing that happens. They work out at the gym. And yeah, girls certainly can work out too if they want. But again, it's more common for boys.
who's one to say what gender, like, depends, like, who's stronger? It doesn't matter what gender you are. It matters who you are. It doesn't matter what you were born. It matters what you want to be.
You could be referring to strength in so many ways, like physically, emotionally, where the strength in your body is placed. Like, it all just depends. And
oh damn, these kids are smart.
There's just so many factors that go into it.
I play volleyball, and sometimes we play the boys teams, and we, like, you know, we've crushed them a couple times, and it feels so good, you know. So I don't agree with that.
I think getting rid of, like, these preconceived notions that, like, boys go to gyms, girls, like, stay at home. Like, one of my best friends is a girl, and, like, she's stronger than half the guys I know.
Oh my God! So Charlie Kirk thinks because of that video, this generation is doomed! Oh my God! Think outside the box. Break preconceived notions. Be your own person. Those are messages that mean that this generation is doomed. I think the kids are all right, to be honest with you. We should give them power. Oh, wait a minute. My generation doesn't even have power yet. Apparently, Gen Z is not motivated. Gen Z is the generation after me. I am an early millennial. I'm almost 40. Millennial means that you reach your adult years after 2000. The generation that comes after me is Gen Z. Gen Z. Jordan Peterson.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
That man, Jordan Peterson, is going to give us his solution to motivate Gen Z.
You're going to love this. I recently sat down with world-renowned...
I don't think I am.
...author Dr. Jordan Peterson. We talked about a number of things, including education versus indoctrination, and his mission to fight the far-left woke agenda in schools, maybe your school, as well as why Gen Z...
Coming to your school.
Not all of you, but some of you, and how we can help them. You got a new study showing new 2023 hires are unprepared for work, they're unprepared for life. Dr. Peterson...
Good evening, Snicks.
Especially for parents, is fascinating. Watch. When this study popped up, we thought, you got to weigh in on this. They say that Gen Zers come in, they're sincere, but if they have no necessary instinct on what to do next, find them a lot sitting idly by waiting for instructions on what to do next. Does that make sense to you? Something about this generation that would have trouble being self-motivated?
Well, I think that if you set up an education system that's designed to do nothing but demoralize young people and to convince them that their ambition is dangerous and, well, even world-threatening for that matter, a manifestation of patriarchal oppression on the social front, and then a danger to the survival of the planet on the natural front, then... And you don't...
Are unprepared for work. They don't want to work.
Channel it into a manner that might be productive and to tell young people why their ambition might be useful, then you're going to get exactly that. So you hit what you aim at if you try hard enough, and the education system has been trying to demoralize people for 60 years. One of the things that really stuns me, you know, I haven't been able to figure this out yet. I've been trying to talk to Republican governors about this. I cannot understand why conservatives have been daft enough to allow the faculties of education to retain their hammerlock on teacher certification for the last 60 years. It's insane.
You mean the criteria to get the certification and what's in it?
You have to be trained in a faculty of education to become a teacher. Why? They're the most woke element of the entire rotten university carcass, and they have the...
He just asked why you have to go to school to become a teacher. Jordan Peterson just asked why you have to go to school to become a teacher. A man who is a doctorate of psychology, who taught in school.
The hammerlock on 50% of the state budgets. You know, the conservatives are always complaining about the culture war. It's like, well, you handed all the young people to the faculties of education. Right?
Teachers.
It's terrible. It's low rate. Their students are generally very incompetent, comparatively speaking, on the academic front. You know, It's foolish, and this is the outcome. It's not surprising.
And it's a way to work on the foundation. And when you have an RNC chair or a DNC chair, if you have an agenda, that's what to work on. Don't get Mr. and Mrs. Candidate elected. Start focusing on the direction you want the country in, and find out how to give people an education that will allow them to at the very least think, but not what to think.
Well, the left-wingers in the 1960s were far-seeing enough, the more radical types, to envision a decades-long march through the institutions, right? And one of their goals was the capture of educational institutions, and that's happened completely. And that's been absolutely abetted by conservatives who tend to get lost in the details. And well, then you think now you have young people who are demoralized and directionless. Well, they're never taught anything about how to acquire a direction. You know, we did a study. I used this program I developed called Future Authoring. We did a study where we had 3 studies actually, where we had university students sit down essentially for 90 minutes. Right. 90 minutes. This was
I don't understand this acquire a direction. Wouldn't that be like something that like a parent does? Or it's a journey of self-discovery? Schools where you go to like learn math and how to read. Critical thinking skills would be nice. Supposedly you'll get those in college if you get a good rounded liberal arts education.
This was it. And write out a goal, a series of goals for their life, right? Who could they be in 5 years across 7 important dimensions of their life? And where might they be that would be terrible if they didn't get their act together? We dropped their dropout rate 50% and raised their grade point average by 35%. 3 separate studies. So that's all you have to do if you want to motivate young people, is to teach them a bit of visionary discipline and encourage it. And we do the opposite of that. Plus we terrify them, trigger warnings, we tell them that everything's dangerous.
You talked about accommodation. So someone has ADD, they're told, dyslexia or other things. Yeah. In the public school now, there's a lot of accommodations. I'm going to give you more time for your with things to that.
PB girl.
Across the line. You think accommodations in many cases don't show progress, can be limiting. Why?
Well, the problem with the
accommodations for disabilities? What, like, I'm against accommodations for disabilities. What kind of nut job comes on TV and says that shit?
Like, the advantage is, well, you want to do what you can to help people who might have obstacles that could be overcome to learn. That's not unreasonable. But the problem with the accommodation hypothesis is, well, what happens when you have an actual problem to solve? You're not going to be accommodated. You're not going to be accommodated in a workforce that requires genuine competition. Because if you're accommodated in a workforce that requires genuine competition, you're just going to be taken out. There's no time for that. Right. You might say, well, there's
No. You've got the wrong idea, you stupid piece of shit. There are so many people that don't fit into this capitalist society that we have created, but we shouldn't base your worth on what the fuck you can go out and produce for some motherfucker. That's not what life is about. Going out and making some other capitalist some fucking money, that's not what we gotta be self-fulfilling. God, I hate you, Jordan Peterson. I can't finish this. No more of this. We have people who are failed by our society because they don't fit in. They can't produce something of value. Not that they're not valuable as a person, but that capitalism can't commodify their specific talents. I've got a friend who is so incredibly talented in so many ways. Would probably be a writer in Hollywood if he had the opportunity to be in a writer's room in Hollywood, you know, instead of being in East Tennessee. And it's people like that we penalize, and it's almost torture what we put people through because we don't accommodate them. I hate you, Jordan Peterson. We get a little high before we do this next one. I want to clip this for the YouTube. Let me get nice and toasty. Hopefully I don't start slurring my words and this gets some views and people are like, well, I can't understand what he's talking about. Getting late at night and I'm really high. That's what I'm talking about. You get a little high. I encourage everyone, light one up, tip one back. Not the end of the show yet, but I think you should be, for maximum enjoyment, the next section, be a little tipsy. Did you guys see a music video pop up out of nowhere last week? Thursday or Friday? This guy just kind of took the internet by storm. And I saw all these right-wingers, all of them were talking about how great this guy was. I have not watched the video yet, but what little context I have leads me to believe that something is sus about this Anthony Oliver, John Oliver, Jamie Oliver. I don't even know what this guy's name is.
Times make good music. And if there was ever a guy that summed up where we are now, it's a man named Oliver Anthony. He gave us permission to play a portion of this song. The song is called Rich Men North of Richmond.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime.
I've been in the media business for 20 years. I can tell you automatically that is like $1 million production value. That microphone alone is over $1,000. That camera, that nice soft focus. This is a high dollar production company making this look. It's making it look like it was a DIY in this guy's backyard. And it's not. This is high dollar production value.
Hours for bullshit pay so I can sit out here and waste my life away. Drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. But your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men north of Richmond. I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the old beast milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6
My friend, there is so much wrong with what you just said. First of all, welfare is not a thing. Hasn't been a thing in decades. Bill Clinton got rid of welfare. I don't know how old you are, but it's possible that you were still shitting in diapers when there were actually people on welfare. The concept of the welfare queen has been disproven over and over again. A myth completely made up whole cloth by the Republican Party. The idea that poor people eat junk food has to do with access to fresh food for multiple reasons. First of all, they may live in a food desert. Are you really from Appalachia if you don't know what it's like to be fucking 40 minutes from a goddamn grocery store? Beyond the access to fresh food, there's also the price point of fresh food. A barrier some people, you get more caloric content from cheap junk food for your dollar than you do from buying expensive carrots and kale and lettuce. I do not shame people for their food choice. Some people only have $100, $150. They got to make last for a couple of weeks. They got to stretch it out with their children. Are you really from Appalachia if you don't know that struggle, sir? Sounds like poser shit to me. So everything about this song is suspect.
In the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to. For people like me, people like you, wish I could just wake up and it not be.
People like me hate people like you that get up there and sing your songs about shit that isn't true, that demonize the poor. You got misplaced anger, sir.
True, but it is. All it is, living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men know the rich men, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and
99-1, I was right. Oliver Anthony, folks. Rich men north of Richmond. Your dollar ain't worth shit. You should care about minors outside of minors on an island. You ain't gonna hear shit like that anymore. That's some freaking music right there.
I don't think that motherfucker has ever met a miner. As someone who is from Eastern Kentucky, I'm not sure that he was actually singing about the plight of my people. And the fact that this slickly produced music video got shared out by all these right-wing ghouls on the same day that it was released sets off my spider senses. I wouldn't be surprised if this was 100% astroturfed by some right-wing organization. This is like the Daily Wire's new record label. And this is like their new prodigy they're going to put forward. Because Matt Walsh was one of the people who amplified this video. So mark my word, you're going to hear that this dude was backed by some right-wing organization. And it's a shame, too, because the dude can sing. And I will give him his props. The title, Rich Men North of Richmond, Richmond being a city in Northern Virginia. The town north of Richmond would be Washington, D.C. The rich men north of Richmond. That's a fucking witty title. I will give him props, and he can sing. But this is some sort of right-wing psyop. And I ain't falling for it. Motherfucker has never met a poor person in his life. He ain't singing about the plight of my people back in Appalachia. You know who else isn't singing? Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie isn't singing because apparently Lionel Richie canceled his concert, pissed his fans off, didn't come out and sing all night long. Holy shit, what's that? It probably wasn't as loud for you guys. It was really loud for me. Lionel Richie enrages his fans, cancels his concert 1 hour after the show's start time. Earth, Wind, and Fire joined Richie in their Sing a Song All Night Long tour. Some fans do not have endless love for Lionel Richie, as the famed performer was eviscerated online for canceling his joint concert with Earth, Wind, and Fire an hour after the show was scheduled to begin, due to severe weather. Hey now, wait a minute. Was this an amphitheater? Because if there was severe weather, if there was lightning, you can't have a show. That's not Lionel Richie's fault. And yeah, they would delay it and then cancel it an hour later. Whoa, this is Fox News. Why are you jumping on to Lionel Richie for? This was an outdoor venue. There is nothing suspect about this. Due to severe weather and being unable to land in the New York and surrounding areas, I'm unable to make it to the show. Oh, well. Apparently he just couldn't make it. Fans were skeptical of his explanation, questioning how bad the weather really was on the East Coast. Come on, the weather has been fine all day in New Jersey and New York. At least dignify us with the real reason you decided not to show. Unbelievable. Everybody think of driving from Boston to New York. Damn, that's a nice stage show. How has Lionel Richie got that kind of money for a stage show? Damn. You had to sit in the garden for over an hour when you knew in advance you wouldn't make it. Refund the tickets. Forget the double parking, car service, and travel costs to attend on Monday, and we will call it even. Damn. I'm glad I went to a shit ton of concerts in like 2016, 2017, 2018. I got that out of my system. I've seen a lot of bands, and now like concerts are just outrageous. Glad I got my run of concerts out of my system. There was some kind of festival going on in San Francisco, and it caused a whole bunch of autonomous vehicles to stop in the middle of the road and cause a giant traffic backup.
There's like 10 of them right now.
10 autonomous vehicles all just stopped at the same time. Apparently it was the Wi-Fi. There was a festival. One day after receiving approval from the California Public Utilities Commission to expand driverless vehicles' presence in San Francisco, crews experienced issues that halted traffic in the city. Viewer video above sent to KRON shows at least 5 cruise cars blocking traffic Friday night in North Beach. The driverless cars stopped in the middle of the road and prevented travelers from driving around the traffic. At least 6 cruise vehicles were seen cruising traffic near Grant Avenue. One person in the video is heard saying there were approximately 10. The cruise cars stopped because of wireless connectivity issues. The autonomous vehicle company confirmed connectivity issues were linked to Outside Lands, which held its first day of the 3-day music festival. We are actively investigating and working on solutions to prevent this from happening again and apologize to those impacted. Wow. They all just stopped in the middle of the road. That's hilarious. Speaking of travel issues, this woman, Tiffany Gomas, she has some travel issues. I have not seen the original video. Would you like to watch the original video first? She apparently thought there was somebody that wasn't real on the plane with her.
Stop the plane. Stop the plane. Stop the plane. Not going to. Not going to. Not going to.
We have new video now. This is the original.
Stop it. Stop it. No, I need to get off this plane right now. I need to get the off this plane.
I've not seen this.
What happens after this? See what happens.
Where's your bag? Is your bag still over there?
See what the happens after she has a bag. I don't even give a about my
License verified, disarm door, standby for all call.
I need to know where she's originally supposed to be sitting. So you guys have how many seats?
5. I'm a licensed attorney, so just be careful. I'm a licensed attorney.
You don't give 2 fucks.
We can do that. I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give 2 but I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to.
Who's not real? She's apparently a marketing executive. You know what Bill Hicks says about people who work in marketing. Marketing executive Tiffany Gomas's epic meltdown on an American Airlines flight has emerged in full on a new video which details everything which led up to her declaring that motherfucker back there is not real. So we saw the whole video. Now we have the cell phone video of her being escorted off the plane, or the body cam video. The Texas marketing executive behind the viral "that motherfucker is not real" plane meltdown continued her tirade in the terminal, threatening cops and insisting the plane was going to explode once it took off. Well.
So this moment, you're one of the ones that fly with American Airlines, so the cuz holders.
I don't care if I'm ever fly with y'all ever again. I want
Apparently drunk.
this flight right here.
They're gonna escort you on us, so just let me
Great.
follow with us anymore.
Great. I don't ever want to fly with you ever again.
All right, ma'am.
Escorting me out and I'll never fly with them again.
Ma'am, since you no longer have a valid ticket or business on this side of the airport, we gotta escort you out to the public side, okay?
Where's your suitcase?
You ready?
It's on that flight.
If you don't leave, you'll be under arrest for criminal trespass. This is your warning right here.
She is apparently drunk.
What? What? Am I leaving? What are you talking about?
They're telling you to leave.
Right now, you could be under arrest for criminal trespass. Let's go.
Oh, that movie fucked me up, Fuzzy Simba. I can't ride behind log trucks.
Let that flight leave. Do not let that flight leave. Being dead serious. Do not let that flight leave.
You ready? Let's go. Come on.
You heard me say that. Like, do not let that flight leave.
Is that what it is? She watched Final Destination?
Let's go.
I'm going to. Like she's got it. I'm not making it toilet. But I'm telling you, 100% that flight also is not making it toilet.
So they've... Am I reading this correctly? They've made an emergency landing and taken her off of the plane. They're going to take off again and go to Orlando, apparently, which was their destination. So she just said, they're not making it to Orlando. I'm not making it to Orlando. And they're not making it to Orlando.
And there's a lot of people.
Exactly, Joey. Good evening. I think if the plane had have exploded, we would have heard about it. It would have been all over the news.
Can I just leave? You don't need to escort me out.
Yeah.
Can I just
You had your own warning. So, keep walking.
You've been crazy. It's amazing they didn't take you into custody. Wow. You think she could tailor her business somebody? Asking for a friend. That was the original video. It's unclear why Gomas, a Dallas native, felt the flight was under threat. The incident prompting her outburst on the plane had started when she had lost her AirPods and apparently accused another passenger of stealing them. She then repeatedly tried to exit the plane, causing it to have to return to its gate to eject her. Oh, so they hadn't taken off yet. This is them outside. Do we have more video? Yes, we do.
Well, she's messing with TSA. We're probably going to arrest her for public intoxication.
You should.
Yeah. She's still continuing to be a headache.
Because right now we need to remove her from the flight. She traded the whole, the plane and everything, so as right now for us it's something serious. I know maybe you can arrest her or anything, but I just need to know her name. If you just can get her information from me, that would be great.
Okay, we can ask her. If she tells us no, we can't do it.
Oh, no way. Caller on the Troll Patrol. What's going on?
This Muffin Man.
This is Muffin Man.
What's up, man?
What's going on? Who's this?
This is Jerome Smith.
Jerome! Hey, I tell you what. I said earlier in the show, I'll give you 5 minutes, uninterrupted. I'll just sit here and smoke some pot. Sell us on the Jesus. Tell us why we should believe in God.
So if you do not, okay, gladly, man, and I appreciate you being cordial. You sure as hell ain't cordial on Facebook, but man, but I appreciate that. If you can't believe in an intelligent designer, you have got to. I mean, I guess I want to ask you why you don't believe in an intelligent designer. The media is going to say it's aliens now. But
Whoa, whoa. I don't know what you mean by the media. You're bringing aliens into this. I don't want to talk about no aliens right now. Hold on. Like this is wild, man. This is wild. Okay, so you said intelligent design. I told you it's not okay, so we breathe and eat through the same hole, which increases our chances of choking. That's not intelligent design.
But we don't choke. Who chokes? Who dies by choking?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Very few. I'm interested to hear this because it's definitely very few.
There are
Maybe
over
children.
4,000 choking deaths a year.
Okay, look up how many people die by lightning strikes. Look up how many people die in.
I don't think it's 4,000. I mean, I'm only like,
it may not be, but that I bet you in that 4,000, a lot of those are children.
Still,
and that's the thing.
That's even worse. That's even worse. Your God designed something to where like children are more likely to die.
No. That comes from our stupidity. Like God gives us free will.
No, eating and breathing through the same hole increases your chances of choking. That's not intelligent design. That has nothing to do with free will. Like, I don't believe in free will.
You really don't? So do you think that every decision that you make is already like set before you? You don't have free will?
By you saying set before me, that implies that there's like some sort of higher power pulling the strings, and that's just nonsense.
Well, what do you believe?
I don't know. What do you mean? What do I don't believe things.
What? How can you not? Like, you're saying that you don't believe things, so you don't.
Hey, Jerome, were you raised in a church?
Man, I was raised in the wrong church, and that's so. Let me get into that. I was raised in a.
No. I want to make a point. So you grew up with a religion.
But it was.
But hold on. So
okay.
Like my parents, when they gave me presents, they weren't from Santa Claus. They were from my parents. When they gave me Easter baskets, they weren't like Easter, but like my parents weren't like anti-religious. My parents just like didn't give a shit, and so like I have this real like you have to sell me, man. Like I wasn't raised on this mythology shit. So like to me, you sound batshit fucking crazy. Do you understand that?
But I mean, listen, man. We need to sit down, and I will prepare, and we can actually do it on your. Am I on your YouTube video right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We need to sit down. Let me prepare, and let's have it. Man, I appreciate you. Not just. I mean, you can call me batshit crazy and everything, but you were like absolutely bullying me on Facebook.
No, you were bullying my friend.
No, I wasn't.
Yes. My friend told you that she was traumatized by religious nonsense, and you kept showing up on her page blowing out religious nonsense.
Listen, that's what you don't understand. You were just taking what
my friend said.
Yes, but that was not true. We had one.
No, I think you're too dumb to fucking know that it's true.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want to go there, I mean, listen, man. If let's have an intelligent conversation, and
I don't think you can.
Okay.
Like you were talking to me about how like the COVID vaccine doesn't work and shit, man. You're knee deep in right wing propaganda.
Back up.
You're gonna ask me like, what is a woman next, dude? Like fucking
muffins. Let's talk about one thing at a time.
Please.
And I will gladly have this conversation with you.
Please.
But if you're going to try and like do this and switch it around, and we can unpack every single thing that you and I have touched on, I would gladly do that. I told you I would gladly do that.
I want you to sell me on God.
What would I tell you on God?
No, sell me on God. Why should I believe in a God?
Okay, so I want to sell you on a intelligent designer. It's more likely.
But I don't
for a
think we were
tornado-
intelligently designed.
Okay, well, then that's a perfect thing to unpack. It is more likely for a tornado to run through a junkyard and build a Boeing 747 plane than it is for us to exist on this planet right now with a symbiotic relationship that we need. If this planet was a couple degrees off, we couldn't survive.
That's not true.
If we was a couple miles closer to the sun, we couldn't survive. If the trees wasn't here, we couldn't survive. Hold up,
You
hold
said
up,
a couple.
hold up.
You
No,
said a couple
hang on,
inches
hang
off,
on.
and then you said miles. No, the habitable zone is quite large.
If the axis of our planet was a couple
Not
degrees
true.
off,
Not true.
sure it is.
Not true.
Yeah, the axis.
Do you know what a
varies
habitable
little.
zone is?
Yeah. Listen, the axis varies. Maybe I shouldn't have said a couple degrees. If it was 5 degrees off, we could not survive on this planet.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Okay, well, just.
Where
say
did you
that's
hear
bullshit.
that?
Just say that's bullshit. Just
Man, did you
completely discount
hear that from some pastor somewhere?
No, that's where you didn't let me finish about my upbringing.
Go on.
Okay. Or do you want me to start? Oh man, I could talk about this.
Okay, you're trying to tell me about like degrees of like what are your qualifications to talk about math?
I'm talking about the symbiotic relationship that everything.
What
on
are
Earth has.
what? Okay, sir. What are your academic credentials?
What are?
Yes.
Well, I went to school for electromechanical technology. That's my academic credentials. I mean,
You do like small engine
Well, I
repair or
just
some
said
shit,
that
right?
to have a conversation. Huh?
You do like small engine repair or some shit. Is what you're saying?
No, it's everything to do with electromechanical. Anything to do with electronics, electricity, or mechanicals, hydraulics, pneumatics, all of it. It was electromechanical technology, but it was at a community college. But why does that matter for us to have a?
You don't seem like you could solve like a quadratic equation to me. Just saying. Well, I mean, like, okay, like, okay. Here's my thing: is like, you're like, you're making claims that I don't think you're qualified to make. You see what I'm saying?
You just switched into the exact same mode. You just got to a point to where you know that I'm making sense.
No.
All right. Why does this Earth?
You are not
have a
making sense of.
symbiotic relationship? Hold up. Why does this Earth have a symbiotic relationship? And why have animals stopped evolving? Tell me that.
Animals haven't stopped evolving. You're one of those why are there still monkeys people, right?
No. What animal is evolving right now? Name me one.
It is not something that you will see.
Me one.
All of every single thing on the planet.
Name one.
All of us are still evolving. It's not something you see.
Do you remember what I said? Microevolution is true. Macroevolution is not.
I don't think you know absolutely jack fuck about what that means.
So name one.
All of us are still evolving.
That's exactly what you have done the entire time, and you thought that you were going to make me look like a fool, but you are the fool, sir.
I have.
You can't name one. Name one animal. One animal. Just one.
Humans.
That has been scientifically observed to evolve into a different animal.
Wait, what?
Name one
Whoa,
animal.
this is you not understanding things again. You just said evolve into a different animal. That's not how things work.
So you understand what microevolution means, right? I mean, you're claiming to be like so much above me. You understand what micro?
Well, no. Like, I'm pretty dumb when it comes to science shit, actually. No, what I specialize in is.
Are you asking me my credentials?
Because
are you
my credentials are evaluating claims and arguments. So what is your
you don't know shit about science?
Not really, no.
But you claim to substantiate that we came from a primordial soup, that there was a Big Bang and there was no intelligent designer, and none of your life matters?
Buddy, you're saying you're trying to say scientific concepts that you don't understand and mocking them as if they're somehow crazy while you believe in a dumbass talking man in the sky. Do you understand that? Like, you're trying to act like you have some sort of divine intervention that the rest of us don't have. But in reality, you're a dumbass and you're rejecting what we know about the world.
Do you understand how stupid you sound right now? I just asked
I don't.
you to give me one example.
And I did.
Just one example.
You don't know what evolution means.
It means to evolve into something different. Would you like to? Hey, why don't you get on your computer?
It's not like Pokemon, dude.
Look it up. Look it up. Look it up right now. Read it to your 5 viewers. Listen, bro, I'm going to share this. I promise this video will get you some views. Look it up. What does evolution mean?
What does evolution mean?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Look it up.
It's hilarious.
Oh, I love it, man. And like I say, I appreciate
In biology, postulating that the various types of plants, animals, and other living things on Earth have their origin in other pre-existing types, and that the distinguishable differences are due to modifications in successive generations.
So, meaning that every plant came from something different. Every animal comes from a different species of
No.
Then you don't believe in evolution if you say no to that.
You don't understand evolution, and I can't, like...
So,
motherfucker, I'm not a science guy. I can't teach you science over the phone right now. But you don't understand what you're... I know it well enough to tell you that you don't understand what you're talking about. No, you don't. It's not like Pokemon, dude. You don't just like fucking one thing pop into another thing.
I have no idea what. Yeah, I truly do not know about that, but I do know about science.
I don't think you do.
The Big Bang happened. There was a Big Bang, and then what? It was just everything. There was all the different species. Do you even know?
No, you don't know what you're talking about.
So you believe that everything
what
comes from one
you think that
you need to talk to.
dude, you think that the Big Bang happened and then all of a sudden there were deer feeding in the field?
No, I do not. For real. You know better than that. No, I don't believe that. You believe
No, I don't know better. I don't believe that. That's dumb.
Then explain it.
I'm supposed to teach a class on microbiology to you, and I'm not qualified is what you're asking me. Like
explain it as dumb as you can explain it, because obviously you have nothing to say. I say that a intelligent designer
hold on.
created everything.
You want me to dumb it down for you the best I can?
You're
fucking shit.
Yeah, do your best.
The universe is about 8 billion years old, okay?
No, it's not. It's about 15,000 years old. And just wait and see. Hey, listen, Justin, mark my words.
Humans are older than 15,000, dude.
Huh?
Humans have been around longer than 15,000 years.
No, they haven't. You're believing something that you've been told. That's where we need to. And honestly, that's all I was saying to you. If we need to agree to disagree, we could still respect each other. But you was like, no.
No, you're dumb. I don't agree to disagree with you. You're an idiot.
Are the fucking idiot. You are the idiot, not me. You are the damn idiot. Oh my Lord. Are you serious? Where did you hear that? What are your credentials? Where'd you go to school at?
Do you want me to explain as best I can cosmology to you? So, Big Bang happened, gases expand. The universe is 8 billion years old. The Milky Way is God. It's been like 15 years since I was in college. So the Milky Way itself is like 4.
Justin,
what?
Listen, skip past that. When was the first life form made?
I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. It was millions of years ago.
Okay, so what did that evolve to?
Dude, we started as like little single cell organisms, and then we built up into little tadpole kind of shit. Then we got fucking legs. We've got common ancestors, man.
Okay, all right. Okay, so it started from one life form. How come we have all these different species? Did they stop evolving, is what I asked you.
No!
So why do we not... I mean, what recorded history has been at least 1,000 years. That's pretty accurate. I mean, probably 2,000 years. That's fairly accurate, but definitely 1,000 years. That's pretty accurate. Would you agree with that?
What did you just say?
We have 1,000 years of pretty accurate data.
So you agree that the Bible's not accurate?
No, I'm talking purely scientific. Now, stop sidestepping and answer the questions that I'm asking you. For real. Like, really, let's really talk about this, dude, because I do care. I really do care, and I don't want to just argue with you. Man, I have never done this in my life. I've always just ignored folks like you, and you were the one who started this shit. So
no, you were harassing my friend who told you multiple times to stop.
Do you even know who that is? Where do you live? Where do you live?
Danielle was on my show back in like 2010, 2011. One of her bands was the musical guest. You stupid motherfucker.
Well, he was Dan until last year.
Do not dead name her.
What?
I will boot you from this fucking show, you gigantic piece of shit.
If you hang up on me, that's just...
If you dead name my friend, I will hang up on you. We consider that harassment.
Okay, well, I've always referred to that person as her, and I've never, ever said anything
Her
bad.
name is Danielle.
Justin, do you even know what I sent? Of course you don't.
What did you send?
Of course you don't. That's why you're a bully. You didn't even look to see what I
My
sent.
friend, all I saw was that my friend said, "This asshole is bullying me."
That's not your friend. That is do you even know what a friend really is?
You're telling me
that you interviewed a friend.
You're telling me that she's not my friend.
No, I just asked you if you knew what a friend was. Are you hearing the words coming out of my mouth?
I don't think you're a friend to her.
I think I care about her more than you do. I think you want to use her to further whatever agenda you got going.
Dude, do you hear how fucking crazy you sound?
Okay, well, I mean, that's fine, but that's...
Right-wing propaganda has rotted your goddamn brain, dude.
Well, listen, let's just continue this conversation. We'll see how it goes.
Well,
Okay?
the chats want me to hang up on you and get back to the news, which we don't have much news to go, guys.
Oh, my gosh. I knew it would go this way. I knew it. Bro, come on now. I mean, I ain't got your page pulled up, but you got two people saying hang up on that guy?
Hey, you realize that I'm not just on YouTube, right?
Well, I know you're on the gaming thing. How old are you?
I'm almost 40. Why?
Okay. I was just asking. Just wondering.
How old are you?
40 years old.
Oh, so we're about the same age.
Yeah.
The young,
I just turned 40.
the elder millennials.
Exactly. And why can't you and I have this conversation and you not be triggered to try and turn it into a fight? Because I don't want that, man. And I told you I've never ever done this.
You don't realize how dumb you are and how condescending you sound.
When you're calling me a fucking idiot,
You are a fucking idiot.
Okay, all right, but I'm the one that's condescending. Do you realize how hypocritical that is?
It's not hypocritical or condescending because I'm not a fucking idiot and you are.
You are an idiot. Listen, tell me how life forms stop evolving. Not microevolution. Tell me how they stop
The
evolving.
reason why I am not an idiot is because I'm smart enough to say, I don't know shit about that. And you aren't.
You just believe what people tell you. What?
Not what.
Are you kidding me?
That's a weird argument. That is a weird argument to make from a religious believer. Like I don't just believe what people tell me. I believe what I was taught in science classes and shit. What I know to be true by people who study this shit. I read books. I educate myself.
All right, okay. So you say, I don't know, but I read books and I educate myself.
Yes.
Well, I read books and I educate myself too. And there is no proof whatsoever of anything other than microevolution. Once again, can you get that through your
I don't
brain?
think you know the difference between micro and macro evolution. I don't think you understand the concept of evolution.
Yeah, your listeners must be absolute freaking idiots then. I mean, so I'm sitting here trying to have a conversation with you, and then you just once again take a jab at me. Yes, I understand.
I did, but I can't.
Micro, hang on.
I can't combat what it's like. I would have to teach a fucking class to explain why you're wrong. You don't understand the goddamn concept, dude.
Let me teach it to you.
Like evolution happens over generations. I read the definition to you. You know what a generation is, right?
How many generations?
So if this is a change that takes generations to happen, you and I aren't going to see it right now.
How many generations?
I don't know. It depends on the change.
Okay, so how come?
Man, like You can look up a YouTube video that's just like fucking.
Listen,
No. You are looking up right-wing grifters. Look up like a fucking science museum explaining like examples of evolution you can see in your body. Like Europeans evolved to be able to drink milk. That's not something most of the world actually can do.
To drink milk?
Yes.
Are you?
Cow's milk, yes.
Do you understand how stupid that sounds? All right, so tell me why chimps aren't humans?
What?
Why are birds not fish? Why are elephants not giraffes?
Because we named them elephants and giraffes, you stupid shit. You are an idiot.
Because they just stopped evolving? So let's just go back to simple questions, because you obviously can't answer complex questions. You've got
Dude, you don't understand what evolution is.
You obviously don't. Would you like me to tell you the definition?
I read it to you. Changes over generation. You're wanting me to point to something.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
But I just explained to you that like Europeans developed the ability to drink lactose. That's not something most of the world can do.
So
that's an example.
Turn into Europeans at what year?
I can look it up for you, but like
you can't look it up because it's bullshit. It is an ideology, just like you're saying that I believe. You have a religion too.
But I don't. What I just said to you is a fact.
That's exactly what you have. You just said that you don't know, so you believe.
No. I know that Europeans have the ability to process lactose, and that most other humans don't. That's a fact.
You don't know when giraffes turned into Europeans.
What?
You don't know when giraffes or elephants or birds or monkeys or fish or any other microbial entity turned into Europeans. You don't know that, do you?
I don't know when giraffes turned into Europeans.
So you believe it. So you have a religion.
What?
That's your religion.
No.
And you say that you have a mind to reason with? Bro, you are absolutely nuts. If you believe something that you have not seen with your own two eyes, you have faith in that. Do you understand what that means?
No, I don't have. You do nothing in your life based on faith. You need to take a practical reasoning class. Nothing. Nothing in your life is based on faith.
So you didn't see that happen. The evolution happen because it happens over generations. What you said, right?
Why would I have a reason to doubt the literature?
Stop asking me questions to questions I'm asking you.
Oh my God! You're infuriating, you stupid motherfucker.
You're nuts, dude. So you can't answer these simple questions. And that right there.
You can't. First of all, you don't even understand the questions you're asking. That's the most hilarious part. It was like when you asked me about the identifying bones, and I was like, you fucking archaeologists misidentified cis people's bones.
What? Because they were either a man or a woman. Listen, their gender is a man's.
Hold on. Did you not hear what I just said? Archaeologists misidentify cis people's bones.
Then they must have been intersex.
At like a rate of like 10%. No, it's just because they're just guessing, you stupid shit.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can resort to name calling, but listen.
But you're actually a stupid shit. It's not name calling. It's just me being matter of fact. Archaeologists just guess kind of based on bone size, and they get it wrong.
That you didn't know.
That I didn't know what?
Remember? About science. Remember that?
But there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things I've had to look up because right wingers talk about it a lot.
Say yes. Will you answer my question? Like, you have not answered every single question that I have asked you tonight. I've asked you a question, and then you've made a statement. You've not answered the question. Do you realize that that's how conversations go?
What question have I not answered?
You said earlier that you didn't know science. But thank you, man. That right there, that is a step in the right direction. And I
am almost certain that I know far more about science than you.
You definitely do not, because you are talking like a freaking idiot right now. So you're saying that a scientist cannot take DNA from bones or tissue and biologically identify that person. You are saying that right now.
Huh?
You are saying, we'll say you said 10%, but there are errors.
Yes, archaeologists misidentify cis people's bones at a rate of about like 7 to 10%.
Okay. Do you think that could be because of external errors or
It's because they're just guessing based on bone size. I know this because I looked it up.
Okay, listen. If I was and I will actually pull this from something that I've seen. If you were in an accident and I was in EMT and I picked you up and you were like, my stomach's hurting. And you told me you think that you're having a child. Would you
This is the dumbest fucking question. You listen to far too much right-wing propaganda. Why do you even feel the need? Why do you, dude, why do you feel the need to obsess over the idea of other people's genitals?
You are the ones that obsess over it. I want it to be like it has been for the last 10,000 years. If somebody's gay, that's totally fine. Whatever. That's totally
Intersex
fine.
people, hermaphrodites, they've existed since the beginning of time.
And yeah, exactly. That's in the Bible.
Sex,
That's
sex is a spectrum.
It's not a spectrum.
It
That
is.
a lie.
It's
That's
not a
a
lie.
It is a lie.
It's
It
not
is
a lie. You
There
can
are
see
two-
it.
There are two genders.
There
and we
are.
have an intelligent
Hold on,
designer.
motherfucker. What you need to understand is like boy and girl, those are just labels that we have given the natural phenomenon. Like those.
Can a boy have a baby?
Yes. Because I'm going to have to explain to you that there are people
Give me one
with
example.
XX chromosomes
Yeah,
that
those
have.
are interesting people. I agree with you, but that's an anomaly. That is a genetic
Just shut the fuck up, you stupid motherfucker. Just because it's an anomaly, just because it's a small percentage, you don't get to discount their existence just because it disproves your fucking argument, you stupid piece of shit. No, and if you understand, do you know what a normal curve is? Do you know what a normal distribution is?
That makes you look stupid. Just name
Because
if you can't
Because most people are going to have a genitalia that falls in the normal range, and you would expect people that are intersex, trans, suffer from gender dysphoria to be just a small percentage of the population. Their small percentage actually proves that they are naturally occurring.
Wow. So you do agree that there's gender dysphoria?
Yes, it's in the DSM, and do you know what the treatment is for it?
Yeah, that's the proper name for it. That's exactly what it is.
Gender dysphoria, the prescribed treatment for it, what is it?
Well, it used to be psychological treatment. That's changed now since gay theory and all these...
It's updated as we learn more information, you stupid fuck. What's the treatment?
How long have humans been here? Tell me that. How long have humans been
Fucking
here?
like 200,000 years or something like that. I don't even fucking know.
Okay.
I have to look it up.
But suddenly, within the last 5 years, there's suddenly...
Not suddenly.
Yes, there has always been gay people. There's always been cross-dressers. And that's totally fine. But, bro, you can't be a woman. I can't be a woman. I'm not a woman. You're not a woman.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't have gender dysphoria, you stupid shit. Of course I'm not a woman.
You can't wake up tomorrow with gender dysphoria and be a woman.
People don't wake up tomorrow with gender dysphoria and decide to be a woman. Studies have shown.
You can't be a woman.
Dude, you're okay. All science says that like these people are special. Their brains identify with the gender that they identify with. Why is this so hard for you to accept?
Because it is getting fed to our children. You definitely ain't got no kids.
Getting fed to your children. What the fuck are that people can be whatever they want to be and that you shouldn't bully them? Is that being fed to your children?
You definitely ain't got no kids.
No, you have been listening to right-wing propaganda. They demagogue against trans people because it is easy to get people like you upset because you're dumb. It is
stupid, dude.
You are a dumb motherfucker. You have no idea what you're talking about. Right-wing propaganda has rotted your brain. You have no idea.
Never even let me finish my testimony.
How do trans people existing bother you in any way?
I'm sorry?
How do trans people existing bother you in any way?
The fact that legislation is trying to get it in schools, and it isn't.
No. The people passing legislation right now are trying to take rights away from trans people.
Shut the fuck up for a second and let me talk.
You don't know what you're talking about, and you're a fucking bigot.
All right, yeah, you're a fucking bully, dude. You're a fucking bully.
No, you are the bully.
You were the one that started this. You were the one that...
You were the one picking on my friend.
Would you shut the fuck up? Could you... Oh, my Lord.
How do trans people existing bother you in any way?
They don't. It's when legislation is trying to be passed to teach it to children.
What legislation to teach it to children?
Bobby turned to Sally. There's... Are you serious?
That books exist in the library that say that trans people exist. No. Let me explain it to you. Will you hold on for a second? What you are wanting to do is bully trans people back into the closet. You don't want them to exist into society.
Oh, no.
That's exactly what you're trying to do.
Nope, that is not true at all. What I'm trying to do
is
help people find their identity. And I promise you,
Their identity has nothing to fucking do with you, dude.
Well, you just need to shut the fuck up and let people talk.
You're a dumbass bigot. You have nothing of value to say. How do trans people affect you?
I just told you.
No, you didn't. Legislation that mandates books that say that trans people exist, you're a bigot.
Huh. Why can't the Bible be taught in school?
The Bible is in the library, dude. The Bible is taught in school. It is.
The Bible is not. You are full of it.
I learned it.
It hasn't been taught in school since Margaret Sanger.
It is.
No.
It is
And
taught
you know
in
what
a since Margaret. Dude, you watch too much right-wing propaganda.
Do you know who she is? Margaret Sanger.
The founder of Planned Parenthood.
Do you know what they do?
I know what you have been propagandized to think that they do, but the majority of what they do is provide fucking health care to low-income women, and you guys are monsters for demonizing them.
They provide abortion.
Low-income health care for poor women. That is the overwhelming majority of what they do. And yes, some places provide abortion, which is not a big deal.
It's 10% conceptor, like the pill.
Less than 10% is abortion services. And you demonize a place that provides medical care to poor people. You're a monster, dude.
No,
a fucking monster.
I've not done anything.
You are demonizing a place that provides health care to low-income women because you're a fucking monster who has been led astray by right-wing propaganda.
So what's the right way? Believe that men are women, women are men.
No, motherfucker! Trans people have brains that identify with the gender they identify with. That has been proven. Why can't you accept? Why can't you? You believe in a stupid fucking God in the sky. So why can't you leave people alone and let them do their own fucking thing?
Listen, gosh, I hate to hear you say that.
You're a dumbass, dude.
That every knee will bow. But listen, let me.
Every knee will bow and Jesus will suck my fucking cock. You fucking dipshit.
Let me speak some truth. I think that every trans person...
You don't know fucking truth, dude. You're a bigot. You're a dumb bigot, and I feel sorry for how fucking stupid you are.
And listen, you have totally drugged me to your level. You really have. You have put me on your...
No, you're a piece of shit.
Level.
You are a piece of shit, dude.
What? You
bully trans people. You demonize a place that fucking provides medicine to low-income women. You fucking spread conspiracy theories about the vaccine and COVID. You're a gigantic piece of shit.
Well, listen. Let me just speak some
And
truth.
you justify your bullshit with your belief in God. Your stupid-ass religion allows you to go around and feel good about yourself while you're a gigantic fucking douchebag. You need to really look in the mirror and have some self-reflection, you stupid fucking piece of shit.
You talk too much, man. You talk way too much, man. You can't have a conversation with anybody. Like, you really can't, because you just want to hear yourself talk. But let me
Buddy, how long have I let you speak on my own show?
Hang on. All 5 fucking viewers that you got, let me tell them something. If you are trans out there, I believe that you are some of the smartest people anywhere in this country. And we have a spiritual battle that's going on right now. And I think that trans people are fighting that battle more so than me or your fucking dumbass, because you are just an echo chamber for bullshit. And I think that every trans person could... Oh my gosh, they are so good. Every one that I've seen has been like just amazing. And in what they do, just like Danielle. She, Dan, whatever the fuck
You
want me
just
to-
dead named her
No,
again, you
shut
gigantic piece of
fuck
shit.
up. Let me
Wow.
talk. Shut the fuck up. That person is an amazing producer. I've heard the shit that person produces. And I really do think that person is in a spiritual battle, just like a lot of people are right now. And we are coming to the end of days. And the Bible says there will be scoffers like you, just like you, Muffin Man. And you are the first person that I have ever unleashed on. And I am, man, gosh, I know.
Jerome, can I be honest with you?
I'm gonna be
I'm gonna calm down for a second. I think your heart's in the right place. I think you're a good guy, but I think you're really dumb. Like, honestly, I don't think you're educated in any way. I think you're kind of low IQ.
Well, if you think that we came from a primordial soup, bro,
Buddy, you don't understand evolution. So when you ask questions like that, you expose your ignorance.
Have you read Darwin's book? You are a fucking idiot.
You've not read Darwin's book, man.
You've not?
You've not read Darwin's book.
I have definitely read Darwin's book. Listen, I was an atheist for a while.
I know you weren't. Don't bullshit us.
I ain't bullshitting nobody.
I've heard this a million times, dude. No, here's the thing: is I was a Christian. I was raised in a Christian school.
Oh, that's your first mistake. Did you get molested?
Nah. Well, at least you admit fucking churches are nothing but organized pedophile rings. You got molested in a church, didn't you?
Talking about. Yeah, those Christian schools. No, I didn't. No, I really think if you would just stop with the stupid shit, you and I.
I really think if you would stop with the stupid shit of believing in a fucking 2,000-year-old book of mythology, you dumb fuck. Seriously, man, Jesus wasn't real.
Jesus was definitely real.
No, he wasn't.
Are you serious? You're denying
I'm dead
history?
fucking serious. What was the first
You're
book?
saying
What was the
that
first
Jesus
book of the
Christ-
gospel written, and what year was it written in?
You're saying that Jesus Christ was not real. There's
Yes.
no
Yes.
like secular history about Jesus Christ.
Nope. Not.
Bro, you're an idiot.
The first mention comes like fucking 50 years after he supposedly lived, so that's not a contemporary fucking account. So no, I don't believe it.
So he was born in 0 AD or somewhere about there, and the first book was written like I don't know 30 or 40. 45 years, something like that. After, bro, listen. Then you
80
really
AD. Written after the fall of the Jewish temple. See, I studied this shit in college, motherfucker.
So what about the Dead Sea Scrolls?
What? What about them?
What about Scrolls?
They fucking barely match up with any of the fucking books that we have. Religion is fucking nonsense.
You and I need to sit down.
You're an idiot, dude. I've actually studied this shit and you haven't. Like you're a dumbass.
Yes, I have. Oh my God, you're saying I don't know about that, and I don't know about that, and you're
Yes,
an idiot,
I am smart enough to know that when I'm out of my depth.
Propaganda and
yes,
really,
because everything
I'm
you say is right-wing propaganda, dude.
Conversation with you, and you just want to name call and do the same bullshit that you do on Facebook. You're a fucking idiot. Listen, I welcome.
How am I an idiot, man? You're the one denying shit that like we learned in fucking class.
Conversation with you anytime you want. No name calling, just facts.
But you don't have facts, dude. You have belief. Your belief doesn't match up. It's there's a thing called Hitchens razor. Whatever can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. You don't have evidence of anything.
Listen, do you think that any other, like, this is why you can't get views. I've not watched your videos, but I mean, if you do...
You've not watched my videos, but you know why I can't get views. Motherfucker, I don't care. I want to do the show that I want to do. And it's just for fun.
Because it's all about you. But if you really want to help people with the truth, you would.
But I do. I provide people with the truth. You're an idiot. You know nothing about truth.
Listen, I promise you, you will see one day.
I promise you, you're an idiot. And see, what you're doing is you're being like vengeful, like you want your God to smite me. Like you're not a good person. You're a piece of shit, and you hide behind your fucking religion while being a piece of shit.
I'm sitting here talking to you, motherfucker. I ain't hiding behind nothing. Nothing.
No, it's his air of piousness.
Nothing.
You act like you're morally superior.
Nothing.
Man, have a good night. I appreciate you calling in. It was entertaining.
Oh, can't you?
Ooh. We hadn't had a call in a while, so... I don't know how to talk to somebody like that. I just have zero patience for, like, dipshits. I can't do it. Is it over? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Haven't had a call in a while. I wanted to indulge myself. And for those of you that were wanting to get back to the news, I don't really have news left. We did all the news. We did all the news that was the news. And it was actually great timing because all I have left is animal video. I'm so sorry. We had a good 2 hours of news first though. Oh shit. Yeah, boy, are people stupid. There's a frog, a toad, and a salamander. Apparently they're getting ready to have some lunch. I made a note. I was going to be sure. Call me FREAKIN. The PP stands for people pleaser. Tone's glad he had a drink. Fuck. No, he loves my friend more than I do. The fucking goddamn the pretentiousness. He loves my friend more than I do. He said that. I wonder. You've got the people, religious people that are repressed, that are obsessed with trans people. You've got to wonder. I should have said that. I should have been like, you jack off to trans porn, don't you? That's the thing. Man, Jerome, if you're watching this, like, I want you to feel okay with jacking off to trans porn. Trans women, trans men, they're all gorgeous. Everybody's beautiful. Everyone is beautiful in their own way. That's why I don't get, like, you act like you were standing up for everybody, but you're a fucking bully. As I said, you demonize an organization that provides medicine to low-income people. Like, that bothers me big time. Like, Planned Parenthood does such a wonderful job. and filling a much needed void in our system where like a lot of people don't have access to health care, especially women. Especially women have access to caring women that understand what they're going through. And everybody, I've got a friend that works for Planned Parenthood. Everybody I've ever known that works for Planned Parenthood has a passion for helping women. So for right-wingers like that asshole to demonize the work that they do, it drives me nuts. So Butter is the light green one. Tiger is the tiger striped one. Lesnar is the Brock Lesnar looking motherfucker. I guess that's the toad up in the right hand corner. I get worked up. Like, I try to not lose my cool on callers. I want to, more or less make jokes and be funny, but man, demonize Planned Parenthood. And they love to demonize the Southern Poverty Law Center. Southern Poverty Law Center is one of my favorite charities to give to, because providing legal services to poor people in the South. I just don't get it. Like, trans people have zero effect on his life, other than maybe his kid might read a book that acknowledges trans people exist, which I would say is a good thing. Jesus, dude. That's your, and we're in a moral battle. It's the end of days. Holy fuck. Talk about brainwashing. Like, that's sad. It's real sad. I feel sorry for people like that. I don't want to yell at them and call them dumb fucks, but like, you can't reason with them. I even said it on the original thread where I met that guy. You can't ration somebody out of a position that they didn't come to rationally to begin with. And honestly, now, like, he had that little revelation. I might take this down. I might take this down and take that out. He said it in the moment. He probably wouldn't want that information out there. So I might take the live stream down and edit it and put it back up. But it's getting late tonight, and I'm gonna need to make some dinner, so I don't know if I'll do it tonight. I don't know. See, I'm a nice guy. I think so. I don't think that's information that, they weren't here telling their story. Something they blurted out. See, I try. I want to do the right thing. Look at that smile. Oh my God, that head nod. How do you deal with somebody? The earth is 15,000 years old. Shit, where do I go from there? What do I say to that? Other than, like, you're stupid. I don't know how to respond to that. No, it's not, you dipshit. Like, humans are older than that. And, like, I've never heard anybody say 15,000 years. Isn't it like 20,000 or 30,000 or something they usually say? Like 15 was a new one to me. I used to argue with the apologetics like Side 10 Bruggenkate. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. I'm glad we watched the lizards. This was really good. I really enjoyed this one. Smile. That was adorable. And I love this one's such a pretty color. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. You're kind of ugly, but you're so ugly you're endearing. Kind of deal. Jesus has been coming for so long. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin Freakin. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol, live.